Hey, good morning. Welcome back to College Apex. It is a lovely Saturday morning here. I am your host, as always, Zephyr Cass. And I'll tell you what, Lewis is making some noise in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but he found a little water bottle. That being said, it's good to see you. It's a nice early Saturday for me. And it's a nice early Saturday for our competitors here today. We got groups A versus B within the College Apex League. Do you have to be 18 to play College Apex? No, you just have to be at an accredited university with 12 credit hours. Also, Partisi, good to see you, my man. So, as long as you go to some university, you're signed up for 12 credit hours, say you're at the college early. You're 17 and you go to University of Texas, or you're even 16, somehow magically made it to a university. As long as you are there, you are an official student, you're all good. They don't punish by age in any way or anything of the like. So, totally fine. That being said, welcome back. Not Koryu. You were begging for me to hit the live since, gosh, what is it? 10:30. I keep looking at when it graduates. I hope this game's still popular by then. Yeah, I mean, high school Apex also exists too, my man. High school Apex competitions are a thing. You can check out the Valhallan League. That is an opportunity for high school players. So, there is competitive high school Apex. VHEL.GG. Atmosai, welcome back. Good to see you. You're on your way to like a 50, 60-odd stream streak. That is a crazy place to be. 52 right now? Does it tell you? That's crazy. All right. Well, taking a look at the scoreboard here. I guess not even scoreboard. Let's just take a look at the graphic. These are the 19 teams that will be joining us today. I believe UCF Knights Academy is not here, as that roster might have blown up, or who knows what has really truly happened to them. For those of you, though, who do understand the highlight of some of these rosters, you've got, of course, Fisher College playing today. Southern Mississippi is here, who had a phenomenal day yesterday, by the way, on Mind You in Premier League. St. Clair, they had a decent day. Minnesota, who just got their way back into the upper lobby. CSU is definitely a better roster, and University of Houston can get a couple of good ones. Or IHCSEA for high school as well. An Illinois High School Esports Association. Well, hey, there you go. If you are from Illinois and you want to play Apex Legends, check that out. 1 computer per player. Damn. What is the... Yeah, show me the 2024 tournament information. Oh, sick. 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 Look at that. I like it. Who knows? I can send these guys a message. Anyways. Good morning, Bulldog. Good to see you, brother. It's a pleasure, as always. Welcome back. Okay. Real quick, before we jump into game here, I want to pull up the current standings. See where some of these teams are at, as it has been updated. There we go. So right now, Fisher College, I apologize for the white mode, Fisher College Navy are in the lead here. They have yet to lose a match day. Also, you heard effect to Aurora? I did see that. I can give you my opinion on that in a second. Anyways, Minnesota Cumberland tied at 85. Kennesaw just behind them, 81. There's Southern Mississippi, Texas A&M, CSU Fullerton, UCF Knights, Houston, Oklahoma, St. Clair, SNHU Blue, Colorado State, U Ottawa, CSU Dominguez, UCF Academy Black, which is a shame because they're not here today. So, SNHU, etc. It goes down as we go through the list here. But realistically, these kind of top 6 or so, or I guess these are the top 5. These top 5 rosters in college is pretty good. That being said, there's a prediction, 14 seconds. The over is taken for lob equality, over under 4.0. Cheese Bite 55. I don't know why I pressed that button. Anyways, we are officially in game for Storm Point here. Remember, College Apex they work specifically with the same map, or actually they do 2-2-2. So it is Storm Point, then E-District, then Olympus for our rosters here today. So we'll be cooking this one off over here. So my touch on Aurora and what's going on there, as well as Alliance. I think the Aurora move makes sense for Aurora. Effect has a long-standing history with other Cis legends like Oirain. I think it was inevitable that we were going to see... Oirain and Effect play together at some point, especially with how tight that region is. That being said, when you talk about available IGLs in the mix as well, especially with Yoko, whatever, sorry. When you see him stepping away as well, I mean, come on. Hierka has played with Oirain multiple times over the last few years, so he already has that link, and then because Effect and Oirain have that history, it just makes sense. It's just a very, very solid roster. That being said, I worry about Hierka's callings. As an IGL, I don't know if Hierka is... I don't know. The last time he had two really, really good... The last time Hierka had two really, really good players alongside him was back in the AIM days, and that was with Oirain and Yoko. And by the way, he's still incredible. Either way, we'll see how he controls them, how he puts them out there. Aurora bot Effect Alliance didn't drop him. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It just, like I said, it just makes a lot of sense for Aurora. It's a good combo. I don't know if it's going to be electric or as stable as a roster like Alliance, but it's definitely a good move to start the Pro League year off. As for Alliance, I agree. I think seeing Aku play with them recently a couple of times in scrims, that's probably going to be the pickup. There is not a lot of excellent fraggers in the EMEA region that can keep up with Unlucky, and honestly, even Aku is going to be tight there in some respects. So, we'll see how it goes. St. Mary's University. College Apex. Cam, welcome, brother. You got plenty of rosters here, some of which I hope you recognize. For the likes of St. Mary's University, they're going to be one of the first rosters to maybe tussle with the muscle of one of these squads here. For some reason, we got the vantage. Okay, maybe we ain't got the vantage for long there, forcing the tack out. Marist University is one of the few squads whose little player just didn't wake up this morning. Sadly, you can lead a college player to a $5,000 tournament, but you cannot force them to get out of bed. As a result, Revive is already being stuck by the lifeline on the interior there, and this is still a 3v1 situation. Nap Chill on the chase down to the low ground. The door's being held out here, and Coop, well, just can't hit a shot.
I've leveled up.
Cam, thank you for the follow. This is a sanctioned official college event. It depends for the university, but most universities can get time off, scholarships, funding, yes. So yeah. Minnesota State Mavericks, they are one of those universities that offers scholarships to their players. Dom to crack there. He's going to be caught out with a drop on Amidzi from the other side, and Schmalz will find Waukee. So this means Purdue is forward here. Minnesota is stuck in between them, and somewhere in that back foot is Fisher Esports here. No problem, Cam. Glad to see you, brother. If you got a favorite state, a favorite college, let me know. I'll let you know about more of the info behind them. Champlain will be wiped out by the University of Houston in the meanwhile here. And like I said, Minnesota now stuck as a duo. LATC Diamond, they're going to find Colorado State University. And gosh, they have just been fighting for so long here. Couple of drills. And Fisher College, they're not going to close that gap oh so quickly there. University of Southern Mississippi, a knock of one. Who's some of the best in the game for these colleges? I'm from Ohio. Well, that's interesting. I can't say why. Anyways, Cam, the best colleges currently, I would say, are Fisher Esports, as you see here, Cumberland University, the Phoenixes, Kennesaw Black, Ottawa, University of Ottawa from Kansas. I would put on that list, who else would I put up there? There's a couple other fantastic rosters. Here's Fisher. You want your little bit of your taste of this one. Oh, Bellevue. Bellevue. Why do some premier teams play today? This is a different league, Juicy. This is NECC's College Apex League. $5,000 and a LAN in San Antonio. Bellevue doesn't play in it. KSU is the Purdue Black team pretty good. They're okay. They're a top 20 team, I would say. They're going to have a tough cut for them, though, in the face of Fisher College. Fisher College, the difference between top 20 and top 5 is literally miles apart here. Here comes the likes of Dom Crack. A quick finish up onto Tharquisha, and that will be the altar play to save the Boilermakers for now. What division is this in NECC? For Apex Legends, there's not enough teams in Apex to set themselves up here. So, kind of a rough spot. If you could recommend a team from Ohio, who would you recommend to support? That's a good question. Purdue, one of your Midwestern teams, not going to be in it. These are, in fact, real universities. I'm sorry, Lilia. I did not see that. Ohio University does not have a team here, nor does Ohio State. For Southern Mississippi, though, they've got land, stake, and control just outside of the wall here. Let's see what colleges exist for us in Ohio. Looks like Zach W. Keys drops found onto last for us there, trying to play out of the port situation. The Seneca Sting caught out for now. I'll be honest with you. This is going to sound horrible, Cam. I can't remember an Ohio University. There's 140 teams in College Apex, and I cannot remember a single Ohio University. That tells me it might not be that good. Perket, a knock for LATC Diamond. Kepler. Well, they're going to try to play for this reset, but Simply Farms is down here. A peek out from the side of Kepler, and Electrics gets the knock in response here. It is a 1v1 now. Knockdown shield, Castle Walls, going to try to stick the revive onto T-Baller here. Resets are available, but South Nazarene will go down at the hands of Perket. Is the Twitter stream working for anyone? I'll be honest with you, Effie, Twitter's been really, really struggling recently. It doesn't do live streams well anymore. I'm thinking about getting rid of it. Is Rutgers in College Apex? I actually believe so. They're not in this league, but they do play. University of Southern Mississippi. They're happy to play with these teams like they are food. Meadsy will be dropped from Minnesota, but they are getting shot in the back from North Park up on this high ground. Speed Demon will be full thirsted, and Schmalz taking the runaway for the rest of Minnesota here. He has to play this oh so carefully because USM are never one to slow down. Viz, a little peek there, and maybe the follow through from the rest of Southern Mississippi will send Minnesota packing. Fisher College has just wiped St. Clair, and I'll tell you what, they play this shit. I'll tell you what, they play this shit like a ranked game, Jay. Because that's the fastest way to get points here. There's such a skill disparity between some of these teams. You see Fisher Esports, right? Fisher has Golden on that roster. Golden is in Pro League. You see Cumberland. Cumberland has, let me think. Cumberland has Future Streams. Future Streams just finished 11th in Pro League last split. So, Zach W. Keys here. Maybe not a Pro League player, but Dallas is. Shadow, a full thirst from the nade up above. And we'll talk about maybe a couple drops there. Winthrop is, in fact, in College Apex. We just saw them play yesterday. Stop glazing Mickey Mouses. Matthew, Purdue is already dead, bud. All right. Does that look like Mickey Mouse type aim? Okay. Little Valkyrie ultimate away there, and it will be caught out. North Park University slammed to the low ground. All right. Southern Mississippi and Fisher, definitely the two best rosters left alone. This is a college tournament. He's cheating. Donnie, I'll let you know. Sometimes the spectate does make the aim look a little fishy. And more importantly than that, I can definitely attest for that particular player, he's not cheating. Because just as many shots he hits, he definitely misses some. I can promise you that. I have no idea the tournament goes, but if it's ALGS format, you would think placement is priority. It is on, I'll tell you this, it is on Friday. Sir Garson here for the University of Houston, and UPRM are stuck as a duo. Cheatsy cheats. We're endorsing cheaters now? Of course, guys. Get your Zen. Come on, lock in. Yo! What is up? Welcome back, brother. Texas A&M is in. Fun fact, gig 'em. There's my Aggie ring from when I graduated from Texas A&M. Texas A&M is in, actually, this specific tournament. They're just in the other lobby. So Winthrop is in, Texas A&M are in. They actually are top 6 in NECC. Thank you so much for the shares, folks. And honestly, thank you for being here. If you guys have any more questions, it is college only. College teams only. You got to be a college squad. All right, Fisher College Navy beams against Slothulus here. This is a fight that could decide the end of the game. Right there. Couple long-range shots, and Southern Mississippi is split across them. Viz is up on height with Dallas. Fisher has little spaces to work with. There's Dom to crack knock. And if Southern Mississippi keep this fight going their way, this will be a Southern Mississippi win. That is now just Slothulus left alive here with a couple of port plays around the back. I don't know if Fisher are going to get these resets off. Slothulus does get a drop onto Zach W. Keys on the low ground. Sloth with another 1v1 situation here for USM and Fisher. Biz versus Slothulus, a former pro versus a collegiate legend. They're just going to take the reset. They just have to take the reset here. Fisher College are quick on the revives, and there's a third party now. Or no, it's just Fisher on their resets. Oh my gosh. No European teams. It is just North America and Canada. North America and Canadian teams. There is no split among these rosters for region, by the way. It is just strictly the whole of America at the same time, and the whole of Canada. So yes, that means some of these teams are waking up at noon to play, and some of them, yes, they are waking up at 9 a.m. That's kind of dope. Personally, I agree. I like seeing all of them. Does bro know Canada's in North America? Yes, but I can't say North America because Mexico's not allowed to play, right? Chef Boyardee 11, thank you so much. Yeah, if I say any Illinois colleges, yeah, there's tons. Illini has 2 rosters. There's probably more. Apex Olympics. That's good. I'm actually hosting an Apex Olympics here this next month. Is Oklahoma State in it? Yes, Oklahoma State does play. They play later today. I did say North America. I don't mean to say North America, Wizards. Yeah, it is, I can't say North America. Is UMD in it? What is UMD? Any Florida college? Western Michigan is in. Florida colleges, you got FSU, you got UCF, you have the Seminoles, Florida State, of course. You have the Gators. Gators is. UMD is Maryland? I believe so. Oh, yeah. Illinois State Redbirds. Does UMO have a team? What is UMO? Well, Southern Mississippi will be wiped out here, and that leaves just Fisher to thirst the rest of these teams. There is the skill gap of a lifetime between these rosters here. Now, Fisher is not infallible, and that is tough. UMaine, I don't know if UMaine. FB, I'll give you an intro here after this game. We'll touch on some of these teams in the scoreboard. No, Matthew. No, Matthew. Only your mother, though. Only your mother. Alumni cannot play, by the way. You have to be a 12-hour currently registered student. Doesn't matter your age, but you got to be a 12-hour student, okay? University of Houston will find the wipe onto the UCF Knights Academy. Fisher, LATC Diamond, WRF here. Fisher College. I think I've already said that. Houston, 5 squads remaining here. This one's going to pull out down towards that open area just south of Cascades. Fisher, well, they're going to find their way over to the UF. And my gosh, one Craver's knocked there. It's going to be Slothulus who actually puts the final bullet in the coffin. Another 210, and Dom 2-Cracked makes me shut my mouth here. LATC Diamond, they will not last for long. Fisher College, they are going to pick up this with free KP. Now, I will say, Houston has beaten Fisher once before. One time. there was one particular time we saw Houston beat Fisher. So, while it is stacked against them, it is not impossible, especially if UWRF gets a nice knock here. Shareville, thank you for the share. Feint will find a knock, though, from the sniper's mark onto Alex for Houston. And that tells me there may not be a Houston to last. St. Mary's University crossing the distance now onto the Cougars. The University of Houston roster is stuck inside the nut building there. Feint, though, a big blast in response, caught by the arc snare there. St. Mary's now getting wrapped by Sir Garson. Another knock from up on high. Alex will slide. A 1v1 scenario. Vantage versus the Valkyrie. The two-tap finish with the triple take. UWRF, the minute we check in with them is the minute that they die here. It is now a straight Houston versus Fisher finish. Houston ain't quite in zone yet, but they've got all the space to work with here in this pseudo-ranked gameplay. It's been 13 days since I last ate. Can you buy me Chipotle? Probably not. Like I said, let's get to 30. All right. I fear the quality might be under 4. Yeah, I mean, I fear as well. University of Houston, they got scans and a half here, and I think they know exactly who those 3 people are. For Houston, taking the height of Cascades is a pretty darn good decision. Might give them the opportunity to get the fight started the way they want it. G7 scout shots, though, not landing for Sir Garson in a way that matters. A couple of nades spam down. Big Golden will find Bocheck knock numero uno for Fisher College. This is as simple as a layup here. Dom, a Kraber knock, and with one remaining member, their 360 may not land, but the first dub of the day is still found. Congratulations to Fisher College, Navy. If I said I was surprised, I would genuinely be lying. Let's pop on over to that scoreboard here. All right, already updated and underway. Game 1, 32 points for Fisher College with 20 KP. Of course, the next best team in the lobby, University of Houston, a second place finish with 8 KP. Southern Mississippi, 15 overall with 12. And I will tell you what, the gap is beginning to form. LATC Diamond survives to the top 5. There's St. Mary's 4. UWRF top 3 with diminishing KP down the line there. I asked you guys over under, and it is literally a 0 quality game. That is about as bad as it gets. It's not often we see a 0, but it definitely takes place sometimes. So, that being said, we are going to jump into our next map of Storm Point here just in a couple of seconds. So, I will pose you guys a question over under, and I know they can get it. 22.5 KP for Fisher. Over, under. Here you guys go. You got 5 minutes on the board. Get your bets in. Misplays. Welcome back. Over. Well, I'll tell you what, Cooper, if you want to participate, you can come on over. We do a little betting game with the folks over on the Purple app. Everyone puts their watch time in, and you can have a little fun there. I'm actually considering this for March. I think I'm gonna do stuff. Quick team intro, sure. Really quick before we jump into game. Dom 2 cracked, Arena's legend, Slothula's used to play for UCF Knights, makes a jump. Cooper, thank you for the follow. Golden, former Pro League player, still actually is currently a Pro League player, is the combo that got put together this last semester. It was formerly Dom 2 Crack, Slothula's, and Serial Cat. Golden makes the exchange this spring, and they have been one of the best rosters, arguably top 3. University of Houston, long-standing team who have just lost out on Johnny, who was a former player for them, and now they've had to fill the gap. Sir Garson, has made quite an exchange to become an excellent fragger, but in this lobby, he might be overshadowed. Southern Mississippi, you've got former pro Viz here, who used to be on teams like Lazarus, Thalys, who just recently played for Orin Esports this recent Pro League, and Zach W. Keys, who came from Cumberland University and made a switch to the University of Southern Mississippi roster this spring here. The rest of these teams, I mean, I don't know much about LATC Diamond, St. Mary's, UWRF. UCF Knights Black Academy, they've had a couple of times in college over the years. Minnesota, Speed Demon and Schmalls, they've been around for a long time for Minnesota State Mavericks. Meadsy jumps over from Calgary to join this roster for this spring. This is the first time they've had a regular third, and watch out for Minnesota. They will pop back later today. Lucky, Rusty, Abezi, multiple roster swaps, but Rusty is the leading fragger for St. Clair Saints. Expect a turnaround for them. And for Purdue, they are definitely one of the other bigger rosters I'd be watching here today. Callist, Waukee, Tharquisha, a very long history. And as Matthew Moose likes to say, what is the slogan? What is the slogan of Purdue? There you go. Enlightened. Thank you, by the way, for the 7-stream streak. Let's hop on into game here. 18 squads remaining. I don't even know. Yeah, I will say it is a bit of a shame, I will say. A couple of long-range shots here already expended. And for St. Mary's University, we saw last time how quickly they were able to pick up this 2KP. The only question I have is, can you run away a little bit quicker here? Because as a duo last time, this was as easy as it gets. That being said, Coop, not much further away. Just inside the building here. Nice drop of 1, but it is still a 2v1 scenario against Napchill and Skyzy. And remember, with that lifeline in play for St. Mary's, it's just death. It's death here in seconds to go. Feint will get the full reset there, and on the outside of the second floor, a missile swarm will launch. Feint, the first one assaulted, but Marist University just as quickly wiped out here.
Now, let's get an upgrade.
All right, 17 squads, and I can only imagine we will see the assault of a few here in a second. Seneca Sting, they don't like the position they're in. You saw that pinch from that pseudo Cascades area. They got North Park and Purdue rushing for the same tunnel here. Ooh, Sentinel shot will go wide. The break onto the Mad Maggie there. But the Sentinel shots to save Sumara never land. Waukee will get the knock as you become blacked by Purdue. We'll see how this one goes as North Park could third party the equation. But I would expect the Seneca Sting to try and back off of this. Now Dom 2 crack just got a knock on to Vallis. And this tells me that USM, well, they're making for a couple of good trades here. Well, not quite. Slothulus is knocked down. A race towards the grab cannon. And for Sloth, getting USM knocked early here guarantees that Fisher will have a massive, and I mean massive lead today. There's the Valkyrie ultimate for the further chase. Another follow through from Dom to Cracked. He is searching these out as fast as he can. There on the low ground, a zip play, and that is USM just trying to survive today. There we go, another grav cannon escape here, and this time around, I believe we might be seeing them, yeah, point blank here. Golden forced to climb this one up to height. Meanwhile, Fisher unable to really get the launch onto Southern Mississippi. They have managed to escape. Congratulations to Southern Miss. They will survive for another day, but putting your team back together can be tough sometimes. Tharquisha was knocked here against someone at the heights of Cascades. That will be Purdue, at least with the Lifeline ultimate, able to put themselves back together. Seneca Sting, the same to be said. Looks like Samara Kill was able to get a full reset, but for Purdue Black, they got time and a half here to get these nades thrown in. No nade is landing, and once again, I say this for the 100th time. If you know you're not going to hit that first nade because they've got an entire building under your control, why are you throwing any more? Nomad, our admin of the day. Thank you so much for the follow, big brother. Seneca Sting there. You can see a little bit of a participation as that might have been the hijack, but instead, it is Waukee with a knock from afar. I think Sumera might have tried to get out, or that could have been a kidnap play. Either way, it is going to be the successful first knock against the Seneca Sting. Purdue now slowly trying to force their way in there. Those Rampart shields can get nasty. The minute Tharquisha takes the portal, though, it is an immediate knock. Now a 2v2 situation. Greed double shields up here. The big Mad Maggie blast as Waukee will punch his way through. Greed caught out behind the Rampart shields there. And it is one remaining member for the Seneca Sting. Trying to get that full thirst on to Purdue while they have the time. The port play is on top of them, though. Blast for us, burned out here. And the Seneca Sting, while they will get that full thirst of 1 KB, I don't think it was a great play.
Spotted the subject.
Good morning. All right, LATC Diamond, UCF Knights Academy Black. For some reason, the Academy Black roster is running the Trident into them. You can't make this up. There is no advantage. There is no thought process here. And for UCF, I hope they lose this fight for that play. Diamond is ticking, though, and thank God the sanctity of this competition is preserved. LATC Diamond there. You know what? Knox for Knox. Quick refresh onto Perquette. Big problems ahead, though. South Nazarene is holding this choke in health. Even Purdue might be looking for Fisher College. We haven't talked about them since the Southern Mississippi fight. There's a reset. Meanwhile, University of Houston, a final pickup against the St. Clair Saints here. No returns for multitudes of these rosters. Your biggest one's still in it. Fisher here, Purdue, Minnesota, and of course, Southern Mississippi. They got a full team reset down there towards the pylon. South Nazarene. We talked about holding out this choke. Remember, though, it is a round 1 close. You have so much time to get yourself put together there. Taking the damaged Trident is risky. If they run into someone like South Nazarene, that could be a big blow up here in a second. Fisher College, once again, trying to hold out Southern Mississippi. It was last time, so far it's been 2 major wins for Fisher. We saw them wipe them completely in game 1, and this time around, they forced them down to just a solo remaining member here. Southern Mississippi, they've got to play this one oh so carefully, because Fizz will get knocked from above. Now you see me, now you don't. Slothulas appears at the pylon area. Like magic, this man becomes visible. The rest of Southern Mississippi, again, forced to run this up the height here. Dom is very healthy on that exchange. And Southern Mississippi, they are the ones to blame. Zach W. Keys, a pad down and a hop away. Another gravity cannon might save the day. Dom is quick on that chase, though. And remember, there are multiple teams here now in the Jurassic area because of the pull of zone. Dom, little passive utilization. And he's going to be unable to find that before we see Zach tear the corner. But Sloth is on the other side. That will push the pinch out here. And this means it is guaranteed to be the end of Southern Mississippi. Just how it goes, folks. Just how it goes. Southern Mississippi, again, the strongest team in this lobby now, moving in to the end of Storm Point here. And they are going to protect their overall first place position. Minnesota State unable to find the shots onto St. Mary's. LATC, you saw Simply Farms go down here earlier in the kill feed. Meanwhile, Purdue. Looks like the Purdue Black roster just barely together there in the wall area. And with that round 2 closing all the way towards Cascades, unless you got a Trident, this is going to be a very, very tough move for Purdue to get themselves back into zone here. LATC, double duo, University of New Haven right out in front of them with UWRF, University of Houston, one of the few squads that are in zone here. Meanwhile, New Haven, like I said, LATC Diamond and UWRF are oh so close. Why is no one in zone? Because, okay, I don't care who dies here. I'm going to explain this because this is why this happens. Because Fisher and USM and Minnesota and KSU Black have such a skill disparity against these other teams, they are forced, these other teams are forced to chase KP to try and catch up, which I think is dumb. I think don't catch up at all. I also think a couple of them just simply don't know how to play zone. I'm not kidding you. I think some of these rosters are so unexperienced because they really are. Like, they are premier teams competing against open level in the same lobby. Those open level squads are probably just a ranked trio who decided to sign up for NECC under the support of their school because they wanted a current roster. They don't know about playing zone. They don't know about holding out space. They just don't know. They don't have the experience like Fisher do. All right? Misplays, you would be playing zone. You want to know why? Because you know to play zone. All right? And drinking. That's right. Well, it looks like for Minnesota, this is a phenomenal roster. But here's the problem, too. Even phenomenal rosters like Minnesota are outclassed by Fisher. And that forces Minnesota to play different. Minnesota in Premier League plays zone, right? They know they have to compete for every possible point that counts. They can't just stick around on edge and look for these easy kills. Meanwhile, the problem is you still run into Fisher, who is, let's say this, if Marist is down here, they're not even on screen. If Marist is down here, here's Minnesota. Fisher's at the ceiling, all right? And while Minnesota can wipe Marist 9 times out of 10, hell, 10 times out of 10, Fisher can wipe Minnesota 10 times out of 10. You have a gap on gaps of gaps, and that is why you see these lobbies devolve in such a way on Saturdays. I'm telling you, we need to see the execution of the format evolve here. Or more importantly, we just need to see more teams in the competition. More teams playing this one out on Saturdays. I mean, it's a $5,000 LAN, and for most premier rosters, I mean, what's the problem? You can just sign up for this. Anyways, we saw that wipe. A little bit of a tussle against the muscle of Minnesota. Didn't quite strengthen for them. As a result, LATC Diamond, Purdue, University of New Haven, and yes, Minnesota all chasing towards that Cascades area. South Nazarene, Houston, Fisher, and Champlain, the 4 colleges that will present themselves in the Cedo Station area. Houston, Kraber in the hands of Alex here. That could be a punishment against the likes of Fisher, but I think it's a little too early. It is just the round 3 close right now. None of these teams are truly pressured yet. That being said, the Cascades area should become explosive here in just a second. LATC Diamond, though, I will point out, does get a reset, or at least a rotation, all the way through the edge of zone out towards the west there. It's crazy the change of direction most teams. What do you mean by that? I'm curious. Scrappy is the name of the Kennesaw Owl, and he's a cute one. I like putting him on our posts. Fisher College, they will find at least a free roster ahead here. I mean, try to take off with the Valkyrie and find yourself stuck on the low ground. A dive to the edge of zone is UPRM getting caught out. FPSA, they're welcome, my friend. South Nazarene, they're catching these late rotates from a couple of these rosters. LATC Diamond, they took the risk going all the way to the west, and they find themselves stunted here. UWRF, I do not know what we're doing, but you know what? We got a whippy to stand him. Shifting from going placement to going KP to even stand a chance to close the gap. Exactly, Cooper. Houston, Kennesaw, Minnesota, these teams know if they want to catch up to Fisher, they have to find these edge squads. And here's the thing, they can beat all those edge squads. The problem is Fisher's playing edge too. And the minute they run into Fisher, they lose. Problem is, them playing that edge and then dying to Fisher at some point is still more points than they would get from playing a good end game. And the thing is, once every 2-3 games, they make it to the end game anyway. So there's no risk, right? It's literally just reward for them. They might get caught out by Fisher every once in a while, but I mean, it's just how it goes. UWRF trying to play this one in from Jurassic, and whatever that quick play was with the Rampart, I mean, it just doesn't get them anywhere. Fisher College now, one of the strongest rosters in zone here.
Let's displace here.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. When you don't even have to shoot your gun against someone. That is pretty bad. All right. Let's talk about this zone. University of New Haven, Purdue, Champlain. Arguably one of my favorite positions to work with here. Contested space, though, on that western side. Fisher still have a fight ahead. 55 on the break and a little bit of a beam on the backside. University of Houston, they've got the scans for information, but the law might be caught out here. Let's see how this goes. Fisher College, they've got a 3v2 advantage against Houston, and even though Houston is a better roster, I just think the skill gap, it's collapsed at this point here. That'll be Houston stuck on the edge with maybe only a couple of seconds ahead of them. Wouldn't be surprised to see some more movement legends come to play and quickly navigate around more. Yeah, I think you see a lot of lifeline because teams want to quickly reset, and there are some squads that are trying to play it out more standard, so you see the standard compositions, but you definitely do get more movement legends in this league than you do the, like, Octane. Didn't get to tune in much where the game's fun. Yeah, they were pretty good. Pretty good games from Premier League yesterday, OY. By the way, Fridays, Cooper, if you're interested in seeing the height of College Apex, where we have one of the best competitions, yes, tune in on Fridays. Octane Collegiate Premier League. That is a huge difference. University of New Haven, they don't really even get to play against Fisher, and at this point, guys, it is a 3v3 direct against Champlain. I assume Purdue is still ratting somewhere. Yeah, Darquisha's still alive. Hose Drinker, he's taking the sip of bullets here from Fisher. Shout out to Purdue. They were able to get a late stage reset there. Nice bare minimum miss. I will tell you what, it's tough. I remember putting scores in and being flabbergasted at Fisher third. I don't think Fisher takes any of these leagues seriously, OY. I don't think they take it seriously until the last day. 150 from Fisher here. And Golden will get that first knock against Purdue on the edge of zone. I can't imagine they have a couple of full rosters to get them set up entirely there. Reset around the box. Yeah, Sloth, I will tell you right now, Fisher, they are still the #1 team in Collegiate. You want to know why? Cumberland is not. You want to know why? Because Fisher gets third, and they don't take the game seriously at all. They literally are not trying. Tune into their stream for 2 seconds, and Dom has his shirt off, literally one hand on the keyboard. And he knows it, too. I mean, we're trying, we were just sucking. Yeah, but guys, there's a big difference when you guys play seriously versus when you play, legitimately. These fat-ass titties hitting the table. See, now you know. Anyways, Kragerless is knocked. A point-blank Kraber shot there. Slothulous with 2 as Dom finishes another to boot there. There's no survivability, and it's another Fisher dub in Game 2. Congratulations to Fisher. If they win all 6 games today, I don't know what I'll do. Congratulations. We're going to move on to the next map. Before we do so, let's take a look at that scoreboard. I asked you guys before this game, over under 22.5 KP for Fisher. That being said, with our refresh, it reveals, yes, Fisher College with 29. Dom, don't get baited into it. That's a professional baiter right there. He literally hangs around my chat and just has a ton of fun baiting people. All right? That's literally all he does. He literally is cackling at home right now. He's such a troll. I love him, though. That's why I keep him around. He's like a jester. It's really funny. Fisher College, congratulations on the over. 29 KP. And the next closest is somehow LATC Diamond with 5. Purdue with 4. And no one else even comes close. Fisher now 73 up. It's really just a competition for second at this point. Who can survive long enough to outsurpass Fisher? LATC Diamond, though, does get a jump up 1 placement there, switching with Southern Mississippi. That is because Southern Mississippi got full thirsted by Fisher, but that is also sad to say. Purdue Black there, 12 and with a 9-point jump from a 3rd place finish. And Champlain all the way up 10 points. There we go. Fisher taking it seriously. Oh yeah, let's see a Dom 2 cracked clip.
Chill on
No, that's funny. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. That's not locked. That's not locked. That man's having a great time. He knows what he's doing. He knows who he's fucking over here. How many different college leagues are going on? You know what? Since we got a little bit of time, let me put the prediction in first and I will see it. Dude, I literally slept 1 hour. I know. You're just here. You're just here fucking gapping these chuds. Other lobby score check? Yeah, hold on. Let me get the prediction first. Let's do a check-in with Dom. Or let's do Sloth. We always do Dom. All right. Sloth is at 22 kills, 16 in game 2, and 6 in game 1. All right. Here we go. 7.5 kills for the likes of Sloth here. Over. Under. Here you guys go. Get your bets in 5 minutes. Paul, just real quickly, since you so graciously asked, here are some of the other leagues that take place. This is my streaming calendar. We are currently watching NECC's College Apex. That's this little blue logo on Saturdays. Afterwards, I go to another 6 games where we watch Contenders League from the Octane Collegiate League. That is the tier 2 of Collegiate, I would say. On Sundays, I know this is my symbol, but it has been changed since then forth. It is more NECC. We have another grind of the College Apex League. We got ECAC on Mondays. We got Octane Scrims on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Play Versus League on Thursdays. And then the creme de la crop, the top of the top. We got, of course, Octane. Octane Premier League on Fridays. So in total, there is 4 different College Apex leagues that currently play. And yes, your boy is always live, always covering them. All right. Little match refresh there, so we got some extra time. Zephyr's going to check his notifications on Twit. Okay, it's just likes. All right. Let's take a look at the overall standings for the other lobby right now. This is currently, to no surprise, Cumberland with a 2nd and a 1st. The UCF Knights with double 3rd place finishes. Oklahoma, while they did win game 1, they finished 13th overall. All right. On the other side, Texas A&M is in 3rd with a 2nd place finish and is in a pretty good spot there. Kennesaw with 19 and CSU Dominguez, of course, with 10. Ole. Ole, do, do, do. The creme de la crop is what? The creme de la crop is what I'm going to be using from now on. Thank you, Ben. Ah, yes. You know why I say that? I always say that because of this legend right here. The cream of the crop rises. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I can't do a brother. I can't do a brother. A brother as good as him. Oh, yeah, baby. Rises to the top. The cream of the crop. I'm not doing it right. Crop. Anyways. You play on Thursdays, play versus. Oh, Dom's got me another clip here. Let's take a look at Dom's clip. The games are starting in 5 minutes, but here we go. Another Dom 2 clip for the first game. Oh my god, is this when you punch them out? This is when you punch this little shit out.
Can I punch him?
Yeah. We caught that shit. We caught that shit on Scream, and honestly, I was just astounded when I saw it. I was flabbergasted, bro. I was literally silent. Anyways, Dom is starting game, so he's gonna lock in here. Good luck, brother. Get me a 3rd win. Oh my gosh. Oklahoma, how you gonna win the first game? Finish 13th. I know. They do not rise to the top. All right. Well, that will be I mean, surprisingly, a low start for Kennesaw, but remember, they do not have Elixirs or Limbox today. They're playing with Rect Emporium and Kanji character. It's a rotating cast for that Kennesaw roster in the other lobby. Over here, we're looking for Fisher Dub numero 3. Get your final predictions in. 7.5. I can't say that word because TikTok will kill me if I do. Oh, shit. All right. It's too early. Just saying that because I go to Oklahoma State. Yo, Cooper. Check this out. So I do power rankings every week. Here's contenders. So in contenders, you do have Oklahoma State. I have them ranked right now at 33. Don't mind the arrow being not correctly angled. They did drop down 6 places after this last week. So that is tough. That is tough. Oh, is that why they say cream of the crop? I rise to the top in the Insane in the Membrane song. I'm pretty sure it's just a saying. Cream the crop. Where does the no? What is it? Cream of the crop origin. Originates from 19th century agriculture and culinary imagery, referring to the best or richest part of the milk, the cream rising the top, representing the finest quality, is likely adopted alliteration from the French phrase la crème de la crème. I said that wrong. Anyways, the cream of the cream, popularized by the English in the 1840s. So it's just a saying. It's just a saying. That's all it is. It's just a saying. All right, guys. Lobby is cooking up here. Give it a second. I know this is match admin, but hey, we'll be jumping into it really quick here. I got a couple of pangs on Discord. Who's pinging me? I got an everyone ping from Fire Team Hub. That's cool. I've always wanted to cast a little bit of Battlefield. Never mind, they say that in Jump Around by House of Pain. I got them confused. Jump around. Jump around. Jump, 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 jump up to get down. Alright. Zephyr's gonna go grab himself a water bottle. I'll be right back. While we're waiting, consider following. Games are officially starting here. You guys want to see my cat again? Here, it's just looting. No one cares about looting. He's a good boy. Twisted Minds! Oh, Indie Cat. Thank you for the follow. Oh, you can't sit there. Louis, you can't sit there. You want to sit on Papa's lap? Here. You can sit on Papa's lap. Okay. What the fuck are these comps? Also, Kitten is adorable. I know, right? I wish I could show you. He's just sitting on my lap. He's so sweet. He's just a little baby. He's just a little baby. All right. Let's pop on in-game because it looks like we're already struggling for rosters like Purdue. Currently taking a brunt of damage there against North Park University. I need some Oilers so we can continue to fund Lewis, Nepo Baby lifestyle. He gets, I want to point this out, he gets the best food possible. I give him so much nice food. It does look like Purdue will get the wipe on to North Park University there. Couple of full thirst. And for Fisher College, well, you know these boys are giggling. You know Dom Two Cracks titties be flapping in the wind here as he takes flight to the low ground. South Nazarene, they never knew what hit them.
Come on.
There we go. Couple of big exchanges for Marist, and they've got to survive. Oweniski, though, unable to pull off the same against St. Mary's University. Lewis is just looking up. He's so cute. He's like, what's Papa doing? Why is Papa screaming? This is Papa's blue juice. Effie, we had a discussion about it earlier. I think it's a great move for Aurora, and for Alliance, I'm just curious to see what happens. The buyout was impeccable. All right. UCF Knights Academy looking like they are in a real fight. LATC Diamond trying to get a little bit of a side piece of exchange, but instead, it's University of Southern Mississippi coming on through here from the other side. Southern Miss has already got a couple of knacks down. That's going to be Kepler found. LATC Diamonds, Perket running. Run, boy, run. I can't imagine it's much better for UCF Academy. Southern Mississippi, they're as healthy as it gets. A knock on to Fuzz there, and that is the UCF Academy strong. I mean, already down two. It is solos on either side, and now Perkit is getting shot here from the choke. We are literally struggles for struggles. Croissant just barely dodges the Thalys arrow that would have done him in there. That is Legolas on the snipe. Still, for Southern Mississippi, this should be a guaranteed 2 or 4 kills there to try and catch up to Fisher. Y'all ever drink blue? You ever whip that shit out like Luke Skywalker and eat your blue? I'm not as nasty with it as Luke. Yeah. Perket unable to get the revive off. The rat is found, snuffed out, and poisoned down below for the University of New Haven. A follow through from the Seneca Sting could mean their end. A couple of rampart walls, though, blasted back. And yes, it is Fisher Esports here to start the fight. Mind you, this is 2 fights. New Haven and, well, maybe not New Haven. That's going to be Slothulus. One remaining member left alive on the inside of building here. Sloth is already covering either side, and the Caustic ain't even watching. University of New Haven dead, and for Seneca Sting, they've simply become the next assault forward here from Fisher. Reminder, Fisher doesn't even need their full roster. They literally just need the 1 or 2. Golden is low there, but trade for trade will take a knockdown. It's up to Slothulus to win this one-handedly before any revives. Well, you know what? He says, don't worry. I'm just going to park on over, get this reset going and loving here on top of them Fisher boys, and it's guaranteed to be a wipe. Yes, Slopulus with a knock on Creed. Seneca Sting should be dead here any second. Sumera kill, other side, and running. Golden is being stuck there. And instead, it is a final tippy tap. Congratulations, Fisher just wiped out two rosters. Now, Southern Mississippi is alive here still. They have been just as close. The biggest problem for Southern Mississippi has been losing to Fisher these last 2 times. But against the rest of these rosters, Southern Mississippi is actually pretty damn good. I mean, go drop onto Law there against the Cougars. And I'll tell you what, for Houston, I mean, a kill race is a kill race. Up to the high ground, 1 tick remaining. And it looks like the Cougs will be out in 8th here. We're looking at a Southern Mississippi finish, boys. Minnesota and St. Clair are strong, but I don't know if this will really matter. Colorado State University, too. They are one of the top 15 rosters currently in the overall standings. UWRF and St. Mary's University, they are cannon fodder. Yo, low-key need Fisher to win a game before round 1 close would be tough. Honestly. Guys, let's take some Zephyr time to have a conversation. I want to get a wheel behind me. I want to get a wheel. I want to do 2 things. 1, I want to start keeping track of predictions. I want to start keeping track of who wins predictions and in some other stuff there. I'll try to figure it out, but... And then at the end of the month, I want to give away, like, Apex coins to those who got the most predictions right. You know? I think that would be fun. It's engaging. It's a great way to keep you guys here and watching and really interested. That being said, I'm also interested in... What am I thinking of? I want to get a wheel behind me for Saturdays. I want to get a big spinning wheel, right? And like when you redeem like 500 points or like 1,000 points, I spin the wheel. And it either makes, like, it's got to be something I do. I think that's a genius idea. What do you guys think? Because, realistically speaking, 7 squads on a down, round 1 closed. I love Ruby with all my heart, but it's just, it's not competitive. Wheel of drinking. Hashtag bang. I do like bang. The most competitive league is Octane Collegiate on Fridays. We had a 20-team Zone 4 yesterday. The reason why, and just to be honest, the reason why NECC's league is so uncompetitive is because it's just not big enough yet. There are barely 40 teams in it, and Octane has cultivated 120 teams there. Goodbye, Southern Miss. Octane has compiled 140, 120 teams over 3 years to create their competition to the highest max level, all right? Why not take a hint out of Daltrish's book and get wasted? Well, it's because I don't drink, and I will never drink. I just don't drink alcohol. I've never drunk alcohol, and never will. There's no point.
Have company out there.
University of Southern Mississippi, there might not be much of a point to them. That being said, Fisher College are here, and this is arguably the most important fight of the game. Fisher versus Southern Mississippi. Whoever wins this fight will likely win Game 3. Now, it has been double dubs for Fisher, and it is looking like Dallas will be the first one to find a knock. It is very low for Viz on the other side. A peek of the stairwell, and it's big responses. Zach WT's with a knock. It's up to Tom Ducrack, but Southern Mississippi, they will put Fisher to rest. Congratulations to Southern Miss. They are the winners of Game 3.
Listen, let's move that way.
Let's transfer to that spot.
Heard that. Let's go over there.
GG's. Yeah. Yeah, I think, this is my interpretation. I think College Apex, one, One, first of all, this league needs to run in the fall.
Extended lane
Only
right
running
here.
in the spring
Level
right
3.
now is killing its opportunity to build momentum and get teams involved. A lot of teams just don't know, right? And then a lot of squads who do reach out, they've already paid the full fund into Octane, which is an entire year, or they're paying ECAC or something else, and they just don't want to invest in that as well, right? It is a lot of Apex to play. You got to play on Fridays and Saturdays for some of your rosters, not to mention the conflicts. There are teams, look at CSU. CSU, Colorado State, has to play these 6 games, and then immediately after, they have to play another 6 games alongside Contenders here. So, by the way, Ball, I will say, if you want to tune into something a little bit more competitive later today, Contenders League is definitely interesting to watch. Are you spectating Contenders today? Of course, it was a sub-goal. Speaking of which, I really do apologize about some of the sub-goals. I'm doing my best to catch up with a lot of them. Some of them I have planned, though, for March and April. Southern Mississippi, they've got the demise of this roster planned in surprise. A couple of shields broken up on high ground there. Viz will be forced to play the fadeaway. Rusty from St. Clair Colleges coming in here. Take the big wipe exchange. A versus D. I am watching, really quickly, let me just pull it up here. It's on my announcements profile. Yes, I am watching A versus D today. Well, Colorado State University survives the onslaught of USM, and the same with St. Clair just below them here. This makes it a lot harder for Southern Mississippi to get this KP. Still, nice thermite threads on height there. Southern Mississippi, still no real answer. And honestly, they might just want to wait out this portal play from St. Clair Saints. They do not want St. Clair getting on top of them as these kills are coming through here. Colorado State, though, they have built themselves a fortress and a half here. Oh boy, Southern Mississippi once again trying to peek this one up here, and honestly, Zone is pulling away. Still, major nades up above there. No rampart walls to behold. That is the crack, which could be the end. A full send, a knock on to 47, a climb up the height from all members here. And for Southern Mississippi, the slow burn exchange will at least find a knock of 1. Catalina is running this away. I can only assume USM is trying to play for resets here. No, unable to do so. Catalina, though. Zach W. Keys full thirsted against USM. And USM, they don't even stick around here. They're going to let that revive come through. They want to prioritize getting this refresh on the edge of zone before it comes back to bite them here. Now, St. Mary's, they do have a nice rotate against them from the other side. Still, though, Navchill taken low. And remember, even as a duo, USM can easily beat your trio. It doesn't make it easier, though. Zach W. Keys, no banner recovery, and still no craft to behold here. Instead, Colorado State up on this high ground, able to get the complete reset. And Thalys is knocked from Navchill. USM are just down to Viz here. And I'm shocked to say it. USM, while they will get this reset onto Zach W. Keys, it is at the cost of their rotation into zone and maybe even Thalys' life here. Colorado up towards Bridge. They're playing this one right alongside St. Clair Saints. There's the St. Clair roster. I mean, trying to play for a port play alongside them. Rusty, he has got beams and a half here, and that could be enough to get the knock. Instead, a Sparrow ultimate extended, and it will be Thalys full thirsted here out here. Now remember, there are still crafters in zone.
Let's go this way.
USM can get a reset off, but St. Mary's makes this hard to do so. Up on high ground, St. Clair College, they don't have to leave this height. Instead, Viz and Zach W. Keys playing this one very slow at the very edge of zone here. They could sneak underneath. Meanwhile, Navchill with a knock on a small guy. Up on height, though. 47 has an advantage for a Navchill knock. Fate from the other end. Arena, a 1v1 scenario. Colorado State, a dive, and it's a heady elimination from St. Mary's University. The scans have already come through here. There's the big damage out, and I can only assume, yes, this is Southern Mississippi. One last play, and now it is a 2v3 against St. Clair College. No revives available, and this is looking like a dub for the Windsor. I mean, there is a separation of lucky, but still, popping in those thermite nades. A beam of one. One last kill remaining here. Rusty, he's got 50 HP, but it is still a definitive advantage. The caustic gas traps are settling themselves up. Lucky's peeking the edge, and St. Clair Saints, while they will get knocked of one, a peek from a Bezzy around the back is a guaranteed dub. Congratulations to St. Clair Saints. The Griffins will get the job done here, and it's really, honestly, a bigger analysis of USM. What a match. Little bit tighter there in the end, Cooper. How about that? John Stu, good to see ya. Good to see you, buddy. All right, let's pop on over the scoreboard because I asked you before this game. 7.5 for Sloth. And it looks like, with the refresh coming on in, Sloth got 6. Only 6. So close. The line was tight there. 13 for Fisher, 14 for St. Mary's with third place. St. Clair, even though they finished first, the KP for Southern Mississippi gives them 25 overall. That'll be Fisher College Navy, 86, still in the lead. But hey, Southern Mississippi, they have managed to climb the gap just a little bit here. And remember, if they continue to do so, they could catch up. Suarez, a little hydrate for my boy Drake. Oh, that is good. Lewis is asleep on my lap. Oh, he heard his name. I woke him up because I said his name. You're okay, buddy boy. All right. Let's take a look at the other lobby while we're waiting. Looks like Cumberland, 77. Kennesaw, 50. UCF Knights, 36. Texas A&M. University of Oklahoma. CSU Dominguez Hills. University of Nebraska, Omaha. All right. Let's get... let's just do this. Who performs better? Fisher or Southern Miss? Last time around, it was Southern Miss. The first 2 times around, it was clearly Fisher. 5 minutes on the board. Get your bets and put your points where your mouth is. Fisher v. Southern Mississippi here for bet number 4. We're going back on over to E District, and hopefully this time we'll see these squads survive a little bit longer. City Hall for Southern Mississippi. Humbert Labs for Fisher College Navy. And you know what? While we get a little time here before game, let's do a quick Lewis check-in. Let him on the mic. Lewis, can you meow? Can you meow on the mic? Give him a meow. Oh, did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear his little murr? He's so cute. Okay. We'll put him back down. You're very toasty. You're such a sleepy, toasty boy. You getting comfy? Yep. Okay. You can come up next to Papa. I love you. I love you so much. He woke up a little bit too early today. He's the type of guy who likes to sleep in. And honestly, I understand it. I hope you heard his little murders. They were very cute.
Okay, enemy landed in my personal bubble.
Somehow Tharquisha has taken no damage. Furious Bacon caught out here. And oh my god! Oh! Oh my god, Tharquisha!
Relocate there.
Oh! Oh, I feel gross! I need to take a shower because that was dirty. It was dirty. Ugh! Absolutely sickening. What a start for the likes of Tharquisha there. He'll finish off the remnants. And for North Park University, at least they survived this time around. Pathy dreams of those. Those are literally, I fall asleep and I think to myself of moments like that. Now it will be Fisher College there. They're playing for their own sort of success against UWRF. For Minnesota, I'm going to be completely honest. They should beat the Seneca Sting. They should be knocking the Seneca Sting here.
Meet up here.
There is no world where Minnesota gets outclassed by the Seneca Sting, and if they do, we need to go back to the drawing board, all right? We either need to be playing more, we need to get Loopy up their butt. Literally, I want 12 inches of up their butt this week if they lose this fight. There we go. Schmalz with knock number 1, and he will save the sanctity of Minnesota. Another further knock, and the Seneca Sting. No surprises there. That will be all said and done. Meanwhile, University of New Haven going to try to third-party this one. High ground advantage. Minnesota, do they know it? A couple of nades are out here. A little bit of an exchange there on the edge. Damage is found, but they have already given themselves away. Needed to get a knock while they had the chance. Minnesota, a trio, Meadsy, Smalls, Schmalz, and Speed Demon here. I'd like to see them try to play this one a little bit higher up on height. Somehow Viz just fell off. The map. I'm just pointing it out. I'm just gonna point it out in the kill feed because I saw it. Somehow Viz fell off the map. I don't know how. Minnesota, low on their first exchange, but remember, this is exactly how this last fight started against the Seneca Sting. Pitbo! 1, 1, 4, 5, 6 for my boy Pippo, 11,456. Thank you for the follow. I hope you're enjoying the stream, and I hope you're enjoying what could be another Minnesota knock. Hey, I'm Shiny! Hey, Shiny. Good to see you. Finally putting the follow down. I appreciate that. Speed Demon, Flight of Steel, Showtime, Brawl. There is no way they will get through them all. Minnesota State Mavericks here. The chase on the 10th Doctor. And you know what? He's going to have to find a way to regenerate. Regenerate. Wow.
Replicator there.
I sound like Elmer Fudd. That's too old for you kids. That was an Unk reference. I apologize. Someone out here knows who Elmer Fudd. What was the prediction result? The prediction result was 77 for Fisher at 3.4K and 1K for Southern Mississippi. Oh, IndyCat hit me. I am old. I am 25 in a month from now. Can you guys believe that? I turned 25. LATC Diamond will get a wipe from USM, courtesy delivery. Champlain College will meet their fate by Fisher here. So, the chase for the top is still ever so present here. Now, St. Clair up against Fisher. Southern Mississippi is nearby. We'll see how this one figures out. Damn it, I understood the reference. Cooper, you're probably not that old, but you know what? Elmer Fudd, whatever. I turned 26 on Thursday, so I am a fellow Unk. We're not Unk. So this is the generation that will tell their kids they played Varsity Apex or however it works.
So close.
Is that Pontus? Is that Kelly? Who's on that account right now? Which of my goats? Which of my goats is on that account right now? Fisher College. You're tuning in to one of the best rosters, and they will find themselves struggling at the hands of St. Clair. This is not the way Fisher want to start this off. A 3v2 scenario. Rusty, Lucky, a Bezzy. Let's see how this one ends up. That is the full thirst against them, and Fisher now, they're playing for banner recovery. That's right. Alliance are here this morning, and you know what? They want to hear y'all's opinions on the moves. Alliance, level with me. It's accurate. It's a coup, right? Right? The big shots are busy. Okay, well, since you're here and it's a private conversation, it's only like 30 people watching. Let us know. Let us in on the roster trade while you get a chance. For University of Houston, a trade against Dallas is where they find themselves, but it is up to the wall. Zach W. Keys single-handedly a nemesis beam, and it was a little bit tighter here. Viz, Zach W. Keys on that other side. That is as tough as it gets. Here.
Listen, let's move that way.
Alliance. You know what? There's a knock on UCF, and Minnesota State Mavericks should Maggie ball this one in for a quick wipe. Here we go. Knock for knock. 48 up on the high ground. Aiden Z is eliminated here. And a couple of full thirsts. There's still a man on the low ground. It's none other than Croissant. Attack Wraith play up to the high ground here, looking for exchanges. A dive as Minnesota actually moves the positioning. It's now a 1v1. Croissant for the dream. Croissant flesh for the meme. 60 on the low. There's going to be the beam in tow. Minnesota's Meadsy will finish the job there. And it is Southern Nazarene coming into third. The press release has everything you need. The rest is James Bond clearance only. Hold on. Hold on. I may. Oh, let me.
Enemy is right here.
Okay. How about now? How about now? Is this James Bond level clearance right here? My other Alliance jersey's in the wash, by the way, so I can't wear the fresh one. But St. Clair Saints, they're washed out by the likes of USM. A good response for them, and we'll see how it goes. Come on. Send me, Alliance, send me just a teeny DM. Oh, not this year's jacket? Hey! I was busy! Come on. If I can't make it out to the events, come on! You know I'm out there purchasing the merch. Do I have to go put on the necklace too? 2 necklaces! Gosh, it's not enough. It's not enough. Purdue, by the way, they are...
We got company, people. Contact.
All right, Alliance. Okay, come on. Come on, Alliance. Let's make it happen. Just between me and you. All right.
That way.
I'm just gonna shoot Pontus a message. You know what? I'm gonna shoot Big Man a message. I'm gonna be like, brother, you have any idea? Shoot Kelly. I'll shoot Kelly a message. You know what? Come on. I may have a favorite team. You guys have any idea who my favorite esports team is? I have no idea. All right. We'll keep the drip on for now. 11 squads remaining, and this lobby is looking a hell of a lot more competitive, and it might have something to do with one solo member of Fisher rather than the full roster there. No banners have been recovered for Slotulus yet. And truth be told, it is going to be tough. Tough to get themselves set back up here. Looks like for University of New Haven, even they have been able to find resets the way they wanted to.
Quick,
Is
over
it
there.
FaZe Clan?
Let's check out over there.
Let's go that way.
Sealed bin there.
What if I revealed I was just like a huge Nick Merck stan?
As up, dropship
Like,
incoming.
what if I revealed I was like my favorite content creators, Nick Merckx, Trainwrecks, Dr. Disrespect, just like I was like massive. Like, what if you guys found that out? You know, I watch XQC. I don't have Apex audio on right now. I have XQC and Asmongold on my second monitor. Anyways. Purdue University Black. The Boilermakers will hold on to the high ground. I don't know how trains fare at higher altitudes, but we'll see. That'll do numbers out of context. Whoa! Whoa! Alliance, you better not be clipping my stream out here. I ain't giving you permission for that. Couple of other responses. Southern Mississippi held out on the edge. UWRF, I can't imagine they will survive for long, especially with the... Why does it want to do a Windows restart right now? Okay, tomorrow at 4 a.m. Colorado State University also on the edge of these chokes here. They have to work their way in there. There's going to be the Sparrow ultimate for pressure for now. A dive out towards the zone, but Faith will still be found there. Nice break on the low ground, and this will be a good hold by the Rams. Another burn on the edge of zone, and that should be the entirety of St. Mary's University finished off there in the end. Now, Fisher has gotten a reset. Fisher are back in the lobby. University of New Haven, the same cannot be said. It's a good spare from Minnesota State here, but Fisher are into third party this one. The same as USM are getting some KP against Electric here. Shot in the back, double tap, G7 scout shots, need to hit them where they count. There's going to be the shield swap, the 45, and it is one hit against Minnesota. A Sparrow ultimate will delay the play, but Slotulus is looking for the best impact position. UPRM finished off by Southern Mississippi. That being said, the noise has been made, and here comes Purdue to play this one out all the same. North Park University, I can't imagine they will last for long. Stuck as a duo or solo rat against USM there. They just have to keep it quiet.
Making contact.
6 squads remaining. Purdue University, and like I said, yeah, there you go. North Park finished off by USM, and we are down to the top 5. Fisher, USM, Purdue, Minnesota. I mean, honestly, these are some of the best teams in this lobby. And remember, Johnny, 8904, this right here, this is what will decide who wins the prediction. Fisher need to outlast USM, but instead they face a knock of Golden. That is one of their highlight members, their pro league player. And now Tharquisha Callis stepping up to hold out the remnants of this Fisher. Dom does have a position behind. Ooh, it is a low pathy, but not the knock they need. Purdue is going to rotate out of this one, and there's the Rolling Thunder. I did just see the respawn ship, so that might mean we're back in it. For now, Southern Mississippi holding the exact same space. Instead, Colorado State held off here. Purdue, Minnesota, USM, and yes, another wipe against the likes of Fisher. Southern Mississippi with the knock on to Dom 2 Crack. Now remember, last time around, we assumed that we would see Southern Mississippi win the game. Problem is, south side of zone, teams like Minnesota and Purdue are still in it here to win it. This could mean anything. Big pressure, though, from the northern side. Fisher on this long-winded rotate as a duo could get the job done. Remember, though, maybe going for the crafter here, playing for a late set recovery. I did not see if they had the Moby. I was not paying attention towards their left ult. Minnesota might have gotten. Yes, they got it. Banner is up, and here comes the reset. Meanwhile, Purdue, another knock for them. That'll be Zach, W Keys, and Dallas. Dallas forced to stick the reset here. Meanwhile, Fisher turned their attention towards Minnesota. Another knock there against Golden. It is massive G7 scout shots as Dom 2 Cracked will be brought down from above. There's the heals for the likes of Minnesota. Purdue now stepping onto USM. Dallas a re-knock and a full wipe finish. It could be a Purdue dub. It could be a Minnesota win. Still bouncing from the back. Dom 2 Cracked up on high ground of the energy brink there. He is split. He is separated. Little heals on the tactical. The rest of Minnesota have leapt to the high ground here. Southern Mississippi will go down. And this could be the Boilermakers win. If Minnesota face a knock here in this fight, this could be all that they need. Now, Fisher College, they are in a struggling spot, but they are right up against Purdue. You cannot be sending it near Purdue like that. No! The Purdue dub! No! Dom 2 Crack with a knock. Minnesota sparing in exchange there. One remaining member for Fisher, and that will be the bounce around the wall. And thankfully, this should give Purdue enough time to heal this one out. Darkwisha, a couple of healthy trades, a break against the Minnesota Mavericks, and we are going Purdue versus Minnesota. The Boilermakers versus the Mavericks here. Speed Demon, Meadsy, and Schmalls. Meadsy taken low on the first exchange. Remember, Purdue is held out from their current position right now. Minnesota have the bridge, the high ground to work with. Purdue need to find a critical knock. Honestly, the timing might have passed there. Big beams, Darkwisha to the low ground. They have gotten themselves just barely a spot on this fence line. Couple of nades to exchange. Speed Demon with the drill. There's a port play from Schmalls, and that will get them into the energy bank area. Remember, that bridge is split, so this is a good rotate ahead. But that's a knock! Walkie! There's the return, the exchange here, the full send. It's just up to Schmalls, a 1-3-3 scenario. Even though the battery comes in, Schmalls with the crack against Darkwisha. There's knock number one. Milwaukee and Kalisk are here. Schmalls with no cover, and it is a Purdue dub. Congratulations to the likes of Purdue. It is a classic Black by Purdue moment. You cannot make this up. I didn't even expect a Purdue dub today. Purdue the GOATs. Purdue have become the GOATs of game number 4. That being said, they still have a long way to catch up. Let's take a look at our match history. I asked you guys, though, before this game, who would perform better, Fisher College or Southern Mississippi? And it looks like Southern Miss with a landslide delivery. That is the under. I'm actually going to read these out because that is a big payout for one person. Congratulations to Dr. Suz. He just won 4,440 points from Project Gerbil and Icarus here. My gosh, talk about a massive point exchange. Legend bands will be... Now, even though Purdue does win that game, 13 KP there. Minnesota at 15. By the way, thank you for the 500 likes, folks. It's tight. It was a tight finish, but it was really a top spread there. It is the KP for Southern Mississippi that pushes them ahead in the end. Shout out to Fisher, still double digits. Fisher College now 99 points. Southern Mississippi, though, as I have pointed out, slowly catching up. 2 13s in a row compared to a 25 and a 27. The gap has gotten smaller. That is a 34-point disparity. But if it keeps heading this way, we might see them catch up. And even Purdue, a win on their belt. One bad game from Southern Mississippi and a turnaround again for Purdue. And we could see second place exchange. Minnesota Mavericks, that's their best game of the day. They sit only 5 points behind Purdue, as we will see Houston, St. Mary's, St. Clair Saints, LATC Diamond all take double-digit falls by the usurpation there. Colorado State does get a little step up, and there's a couple of exchanges on the low ground. For the other lobby, they are still unfinished in their next game. So nothing to say there. Fisher are in the lead, but can they hang on to it? Ooh, let's get a better player standing going. I want to compare multiple people. All right, one from each college here. All right, let's make this oh so simple. Alliance, by the way, I want to talk to you later. I know you're just the social media or whomever, but I want to do something big for Collegiate. And you know what? I'm going to start reaching out to esports orgs. I'm going to say, we do a little quid pro quo, a little stream from the Zeffy Poo, maybe a little summer competition. Zephyr funds most of the prize pool himself, but maybe a little support. And maybe Alliance gets to throw their name tag on it, you know? That's all I'm going to say. I might shoot a message over to Kelly, see if we can make something happen here, because I don't want these college players to be without for the summer season. You know what I'm saying? That's a classic. That's a little Zephyr move. Anyways, shoot your shot. Thank you, Alliance. I appreciate that. I know you're not. Who actually, Alliance, I'm really curious. Who runs the socials for you guys these days? I'm very curious. By the way, who wins? Oh, who has the best performance? Let's do Sloth, because he's in the lead. Let's do Zach W. Keys. Let's go for 4. Let's go Sir Garson here. And let's throw a Waukee in there. Waukee from Purdue. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Or maybe someone else. 2 minutes on the board for this one. Get your predictions in. Pick your favorite. Your poopy, a double hydrate. Double hydrate for you. I'm Kayak. Welcome to the stream again, brother. 1 minute 40. We're already polling for someone else. 1,000 points on someone else. Can we get some bets for Sloth, Zach W. Keys, Sir Garson, or Waukee here? Sloth has taken the lead, but Zach W. Keys is a pretty good one, too. Me and one other person. Okay. Johnny, little hydrate. What's the other lobby looking like, Daddy? Quick refresh here. They're still not done with their third game, but Cumberland is in the lead with 77 still. 50 for Kennesaw, UCF Knights with 36, Texas A&M 26, University of Oklahoma, CSU DH, Nebraska Fullerton, SNHU Muskingum, Fisher College White, SNHU Blue, Louisiana Christian University, Northern Arizona University, LATC Ruby, Purdue University Club, and Kansas State University. Alliance, tell Unlucky I love him. Ah, yes, Loopy, who used to coach Mutarium back in the day that turned into Team Bosch. That was Tyler, Unlucky, and Matafe that came together. And on Mutarium, it was Evoke J as well. So Tyler, Unlucky, and Evoke. So Loopy used to coach that roster before making his big jump and eventually landing in Collegiate. All right, we're jumping in game here, and it's starting off a little bit worse for wear.
Enemy there.
We turn into a late-stage failure for Fisher College against Minnesota, and that is a tough, tough spot. University of Houston, they've already got a couple of beams going their way. Kepler is going to go down here, and for the Cougs, we'll see if LATC Diamond can survive. By the way, Weezy's Golden, I appreciate you for being here. You know, I'm watching A versus D for Octane today, by the way. I apologize. Seriously, guys, you can appreciate me casting all you want, and I will always reciprocate it. But I will tell you, I genuinely could not be more thankful for the support you guys show me every step of the way here. Sitting, viewing in chat, hanging out with me, and having a good time watching the Collegiate season. And I hope you enjoy it, because remember, the minute we hit May, it's all over. It's all said and done. You gotta wait all the way until September. I mean, think about that. A big 4-month break. What are we gonna do? I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Zephyr's gonna put together a league. I'm gonna put together a summer league. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to reach out to 1,000 fucking people. I'm going to make it happen. All right? I'm going to give these college players a chance to play throughout the summer. And it could be open. It could be whatever. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe we make it a solo queue tournament. Make it fun. Little solo queue summer league. And then maybe we have a final draft after weeks of play. Gets everybody introduced to each other. And who knows? Maybe we make it a combine.
They might be watching you.
Maybe we reach out to some high school players from VHEL and see if we can get them involved as well. You know? See if they can get a little taste of the collegiate competition. I think that's a great idea. All right? Summer League.
Mid-range.
Maybe we get a high school combine going. Maybe these are two separate things. I really want to do a high school combine. I would love to put together an opportunity for these colleges to see good high school players. Southern Miss. They are one of the best collegiate rosters. That point-blank nade might find purchase and a half here. Viz from up on high. And it's Southern Mississippi. Knock for knock. T-Baller, Electrics. Absolutely decimated. I mean, there's going to be the zip line play away for Southern Mississippi's, well, inevitable wipe here. Come on, come on. There we go. Southern Nazarene done and dusted. Say the goodbye to UWRF as well. Now, it looks like, unless Fisher's in zone, Fisher ain't here no more. Loopy? All right. We can talk about it all you want, brother. 5 high school, 10 collegiate, 5 pro teams? No. No, that would not be what it is. I think if I really wanted to do something, I might, doing just like a combine event where, because these high school teams, they do get a little taste of the action. You know, there's things like VHEL, the Illinois State, TechSef. There's these high school competitions for sure. But doing this big, massive combination where they get a real, genuine competitive exchange going. And who knows, maybe we can give them a coach or two, you know, have a high school come in, have them compete across maybe like 2 weeks, give them a collegiate coach to work with, and see if they improve, and then put some money on the line and award them together. Southern Mississippi up on high. This is another wipe for them. Catalina did get that knock onto Viz, and they're not going to take the time for the reset. And you know what? I like it. It's one remaining member for Colorado State. So, big wipes for USM. And without Fisher on the map anymore, this is going to be big recoveries here. Wait, do most teams have coaches? Is that normal? No, I'm saying, I would say, like, you can have a loopy coach, or for a high school, if we're doing like a tournament thing, what if, like, what if Fiddle Dude, you know, he volunteers to be a coach? And he's a great coach, by the way. Most people don't know that. What if, you know, Jukesy, he says, I'll coach a team. And so he has his own little team, right? And he gets to coach this one high school for the event. I think that's a great idea. Middle Dude is a terrible coach? No, he's not. He's fantastic. Masked Raccoon, thank you so much for the subscription. Or, I mean, the follow. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Just like Seneca Sting is getting ahead of their equation. Meansy a couple knocks, and Hammond is looking goo. We'll turn it into Purdue here. Shadow knocked far and away. And we'll see how this one goes. It is going to be at least evac recovery. Oh, yeah. Reel him in for the final finish there. That's it. Shadow peeled off, but North Park University at least allowed to survive towards that western end. Could get recovery, but they might be finding their way into St. Clair Solid, Southern Mississippi, 2 of the best rosters that are still alive in this lobby here. Oh, a Bezzy with a knock on the Phallus. And for St. Clair, Rusty is healthy. All you need is one good additional Rusty knock, and this could be it for Southern Mississippi. A peek on the edge from Viz there, and you cannot step in. That is tough. Southern Mississippi, I'd like to see the full thirst from St. Clair here in a second. Big beams from afar. St. Clair College. Oh, it's another. No, yes, it is another. Viz is down. Phallus is full thirsted. Southern Mississippi, their journey may be stunted here. The St. Clair College, the Griffins from Windsor. flown into some nice success. Marist University, sadly, in the face of the Cougars. I can't imagine they'll look much better at any point here. Looks like we've already got a little runaway from Owenski, but with one single bullet blowing down the trees with a soft breeze, that'll be the wipeout. Now, USM was not knocked out here. USM are still alive, and that is might, or could be, the biggest forget of St. Clair. St. Clair, they did not finish that fight entirely. USM could easily get a revive off late. North Park is down, and we are to 6 squads remaining. St. Clair, Purdue, Minnesota, Houston, St. Mary's, and yes, Southern Mississippi, who has a crafter nearby. Southern Mississippi have a crafter nearby. I'm telling you right now, it's foolish. Okay? It is absolutely foolish to be in this situation now and, well, find yourself potentially out of the competition. He's got double banners. He just needs the revive. There is nobody in Summers University. And, yeah, he's going to get this going. St. Clair, they are going to see this drop ship come in. There's the revive beacon finally collapsed and ready. I don't think St. Clair they take it. Southern Mississippi are back in the equation here. This could be a big dub for Southern Mississippi. Remember, they have picked up one today. Or no, they have yet to pick up one today. That's what I meant to say. 2 for Fisher, 1 for Purdue, and yes, even 1 for, who else won today? St. Clair. 1 for St. Clair. That's what I wanted to say here. So, this could be another USM dub. St. Clair's in zone. University of Houston versus the Minnesota State Mavericks. Couple of late rotators here. Houston taking their time. Big beams from Alex around the back. Oh, the Mad Maggie ball is point blank, but it's not before Speed Demon will go down. Alex taking the time to get this battery off. Law, a Nox gas grenade for recovery. Speed 20 shots, and only just 1 needs to hit. Falls for the knock, but it is massive trades, and the Mavericks' journey is stunted here in game number 5. Houston playing for reset. St. Mary is on that southern side of zone. And Purdue could look for these knocks. Now watch out here. St. Mary's could always rotate behind this and finish the job. Oh, what a hell of a rotate there. Havoc dropped. I mean, a Havoc drop on the Law. University of Houston, not much healthier for this final end zone. Remember what I said, though, about St. Mary's. I'm curious to see where they may go. Well, climb up there. And honestly, Alex doesn't find any real damage against Purdue. Alex and Sir Garson, they are going to play for their life as Tharquisha lets us know that I am him. Tharquisha, by the way, on E-District, we caught your PK play. And you're going to want to go back and check that out because it was sick. Southern Mississippi, they'll find the rats that be here from Purdue. Wonky down, a recovery from Darquisha on the other side, but Callis is already knocked as well. 1 remaining moment here for Purdue. 5 squads down. Houston and the likes of Purdue are not looking healthy. University of Houston as a duo. Purdue is a solo. Southern Mississippi, I can assume St. Clair, St. Mary's, all still in the fight here. Let's see how this one goes. Couple of Craver shots in the chamber. Southern Mississippi dealing with double rosters on either side. Massive beams on the break. There's the follow-through for the rest of USM. A knock on Alex and 1 remaining member for Houston here. A final tap there and a shield swap for Thalys. Southern Mississippi, they defend the zone. Purdue now sticking a revive onto Waukee. St. Mary's, this is the wrap though from the back. I called it. I said this at any given point. Expect St. Mary's to get involved here. 3 squads remaining. We got double Saints and only 1 Southern Mississippi. I don't know if those boys be praying, but we'll see if the Saints can come out on top here. St. Clair College, like I said, they are currently regretting the fact that they never finished off USM. Now, USM is going to send it on to St. Clair here. You have to be so careful because St. Clair, Rusty, one of these guys can get a knock, and this would be very, very bad. Let's see how this goes.
Let's go this way.
St. Clair, all 3 members up. Southern Mississippi playing for space. Honestly, I'm calling it right now. If this is a trade for trade between either of these rosters, St. Mary's could genuinely win this game. It's going to be very hard. I don't know if St. Mary's has the capacity, but they are putting in some very critical shots here. St. Clair forced to drop. They are right next to USM. They dive into the stairwell. Lucky is down. Dallas is down. This is St. Mary's opportunity of a lifetime. St. Mary can win this game now. They just need to get involved. There's the Rolling Thunder for Zach W. Keys up on height. Nav Joe with the knock. Nav Joe with the knock. St. Mary's are doing it. St. Mary's are doing it. Yes. That is how you capitalize. That is how you take advantage of a third party. These teams are genuinely learning here. Skies, Fame, Nav Chill. A fantastic finish there in the end. How many times have we seen a squad just screw the pooch, just drop the ball on some of these exchanges, and then completely outgunned? Taking advantage of when they are weak is critical. Oklahoma State will be playing at their respective homes today. You think little details like playing at home help more than playing at the team space. Honestly, if you're more comfortable at home and that's where you play Apex the majority of your time, who knows? Oklahoma State could be looking good today. They have not had remarkable performances in these last couple of weeks. That being said, let's hop on over to our scoreboard one last time before we get into the final game here. It is going to be Fisher College in the lead, 100 points there, 91 for Southern Mississippi. Purdue Black 52, University of Houston 50, St. Mary's 48 now, and Minnesota 47. We have a 5-point disparity here between these four squads and a 9-point between Southern and Fisher College. That being said, it looks like we had to compare Sloth, Zach W. Keys, Sir Garson, Waukee, or someone else. Let's take a look at the Game 5 player standings, because the member with the most KP was none other than Zach W. Keys. Congratulations to those of you that picked up the W on that one. I will say, summary lets us know the winners, Tobrick and Project Gerbil, walking away with 2,199 points. They'll steal that one there. And that is a nice, easy, clean, little underdog pickup. Funny enough, Sir Garson was right there with 6 behind the pack. Thalys was representing for Southern Mississippi as well. Meadsy was doing pretty well. It looks like, Sloth, the rest of these squads, they just didn't even come close. Waukee's all the way down there in 12th. And honestly, Sir Garson was the next closest, so no one had bet on Sir Garson had University of Houston came out on top. One last prediction of the day. You guys know how I like to run this one. We do a who wins, because that is as fun as it gets. Who wins Game 6? We got Fisher, 2 on the day. Southern Miss, who have not gotten one yet. Purdue with 1. Houston with none. St. Mary's, got to put them up there. They're in the top 5. Minnesota, who have not gotten the finish yet. St. Clair, who's gotten one. And then we will throw LATC Diamond and a little CSU for those underdog lovers. And then someone else. That could be UWRF, Champlain, University of New Haven, UCF Knights Academy Black, South Nazarene University, Seneca Sting, UPRM, North Park University, or Marist University. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the board. Get your predictions in. University of Houston's heating up. They are looking like they're getting pretty close here. This race for top 3 is actually extremely legitimate. Even St. Clair College is in the picture as well. We could see a massive switch up because it's only an 11-point difference there. Southern Mississippi for the race for first. College or Fisher, they have been struggling. Get your bets in. Who wins Game 6? Fisher, Southern Miss, Purdue, Houston, St. Mary's, Minnesota, St. Clair, LATC Diamond, CSU, or someone else. Already. Got a little bet on St. Mary's, but the Southern Miss will overtake for now. It could be their very first dub of the day. Hey, I'm curious. Could go either which way here. I'm going to take a little look at my announcements, Pooh, before we jump on in. Getting pinged in my general. All right, here we go. You guys get your bets in. CSUF in fourth and the other lobby is a duo and won a game. That's crazy. Fourth as a duo, 16 points there, 28. Cumberland and Kennesaw, though, are taking up a wealth of those points. Shout out to CSUF, UCF Knights in third. Texas A&M are behind them as a trio. The full roster, by the way. CSU Dominguez Hills, and yes, Oklahoma, who has never quite replicated their big win to start the day. Nebraska, North Arizona, SNHU, Fisher College, White Muskingum, SNHU Blue, LATC Ruby, Louisiana Christian University, Kansas State University, and Purdue for their last 2 games to go here. Let us pop in, though, to our final Olympus of the day. UCF Knights Academy will not be joining us for this one. Honestly, if that other lobby, I'm not gonna lie, Observer, if that other lobby, I don't know if they started their game 5, but we might be able to pop in there for game 6. You'll have to check that for the other lobby. Oklahoma heard me talk on the earlier, and now they said watch this. Yeah, they've only won 1 game, though. Has not looked particularly great. All right, Zephyr's got to take off the jacket. Like Mass Raccoon said, things are heating up, and Zephyr is just strictly hot. He's gonna give himself that ice cold Eskimo liquid. I will tell you what. That is good. That is damn.
Contact. Cancel that.
St. Mary's with a dub on their belt is starting to look confident. Let's see if it represents Navchill with a knock on to Ripjaw there, and that is, I think, the name of a transformer. If someone can inform me, I think Ripjaw is the name of the dinosaur. UWRF, they are the ones to recover for now. MGFBM and the rest of these teams getting chased out there, but realistically, it's just Trident recovery. Purdue University in the rift for now. We got a little bit of an exchange towards the zone, still over towards that southeastern side, so maybe a deja vu pull here. Fisher College, they're going to be walking into the Seneca Sting. A couple of nades on the building, and for Fisher, this is arguably their most important match yet. They are only 9 points ahead of USM right now. I mean, you could really mess up here. UPRM as a duo up above. This is why Seneca Sting is getting so aggressive. Couple of nades back, and the white shield is beginning to take a crack on the low ground. A nice exchange from huge shiny forehead, but it doesn't mean nothing because, yes, Fisher are here. LATC Diamond, the same to be said. UPRM going to be finished off there by the likes of the Seneca Sting in combo. Reed was knocked from afar. There's the Mad Maggie ball up tight. Sumarakil last for us, sticking a revive on the interior, and LATC Diamond, surprisingly, not as close as I would have expected. This has to be maybe Fisher or someone else. Those scans from Sumarakil, though, tells me it is the drop down here. Fisher College, yeah, probably on the southern side of Oasis. Meanwhile, Minnesota, a knock onto Shadow, and there is no recovery for a couple of these squads. North Park University finished off, and South Nazarene also just as quickly. The final lobby of the day has become a race for points here. Minnesota State Mavericks versus Purdue. Tharquisha with a knock. Rocky on the other side. One remaining member for the Boilermakers, and their track has run short. The train has crashed. And the Mavericks, you know what? A bull has hit the track. Here we go. Point blank snipes, and the LATC Diamonds will be wiped out. We are ready and hyped, says Cold Snail. Made some changes to our setup. Hey, you know what? I will respect it, and we will see if it makes a change. If it is a worthy opportunity for you folks. I like teams taking any opportunity to improve themselves, whether it be the setup, whether it be a coach, whether it be spending some time in R5, or just really caring about Collegiate, because that is the only way this scene gets more respect and gets better over time. If teams take the time to get themselves better. Now Fisher College, a mad Maggie ball and a beam from afar there. That's going to be Dom to crack with the peek for the knock. Remember, Fisher need to keep their lead ahead of USM, and this kind of KP is the way they do it. Seneca Sting picked off there, and we are down to 11 squads remaining. University of Houston back on the phase driver, and St. Clair Saints is a nice matchup that you could work into. The Law caught out there on the spread. Ooh, little big bounce from the Mad Maggie ball will get Houston to safety, but St. Clair are still looking for this. They will drop, I mean, a little bit of that Seer ultimate could be finding themselves set up for success. Oh, beams number one. Lucky is your winner. That's why he lives up to the name. Flesh around the back. A leap from the side. And it's not the knock he needs. Sir Garson with the response. And there's going to be the overheal for the Law. Meanwhile, up on height, the full thirst against Lucky as they will try to burn through the gas here. Houston now, a 3v2. St. Clair are still trying to look for this. Abezi, he's able to get the beacon back there. Alex knocked on the other side. Both members of Houston down. It's up to Sir Garson. The gas makes this difficult. There's the peek from Rusty. A 1v1 exchange. Abezi versus Sir Garson. And it is a trade for trade there.
Let's explore this way.
Replicator far off.
You're just too low. You're just too low. I didn't get the third KP because of the game bug. That's a shame. That is a shame. Southern Miss, Fisher, Minnesota, Colorado State, UCF Knights Academy Black, somehow St. Mary's all the way towards the north, Champlain, and Marist. Thanks for watching. Fun stream as always. Consider sticking around, Sir Garson. Throw it on in the background. I would appreciate it. We got contenders coming up here. Croissant, a knock on his Zach W keys, and for USM, UCF Knights Academy lead for a knock. Those tridents, they can become good, but from the choke, Minnesota Mavericks, they will stunt the play. Here we go. Seer ultimate down, and that's going to be a light recovery for Fuzz to dive this one out deep. The real question is, where did USM end up there? Could be the rotate, yeah, from behind. Dallas and Viz, and they're going to get wrapped. It's none other than Fisher. And I don't know if Viz is going to look much better than this. Viz taking the port all the way inside to the rift. St. Mary's University just got their own revive. Meanwhile, Fisher versus Minnesota here. Speed Demon and Meezy, a double knockback. Slathula into the port, and that will be the recovery moment to get them set up here. The real question, though, is with St. Mary's and USM on the other side of that port, I don't know if Fisher will survive. We're only going to have to wait and see. Viz, he makes the quick exchange. There's the, trying reset, but it's straight into the likes of UCF Knights here. It is guaranteed now that Fisher have survived longer, and more importantly than that, they are still ready and in it.
Let's go.
Fisher of men, baby. Hey, those Kingfishers, they will swoop on down and pick up the dub today if they continue to survive. That being said, they got to survive. 7 squads remaining, just getting into the top 5. And we'll start to see your placement elevate. For Fisher College, all 3 members are back up here. And honestly, while the portal isn't the safest spot, it is surprisingly okay right now. Minnesota have left it. Fisher doesn't know this. We have dramatic iron. I missed a Purdue win. You did, Matthew. I even called you out. I said, Matthew, this is your chance. What do we say?
Aiming right at you.
You lost it, buddy. Colorado State University trying to fight their way in. I went to Chick-fil-A. Understandable. It closes tomorrow. Got to get in while you can. I had a conversation with a couple of friends, and we talked about, what would you guys think if Chick-fil-A offered fish? Same kind of batter, same kind of profile, but they offered fish. I honestly think it's a hit. I mean, at least to me, I think them offering fish is no joke. Good idea. quality's good. Well, I'll tell you what, the quality from Schmalls makes him look like he's downloaded. Colorado State and Minnesota, a full thirst against Dom to crack, and I think they're already safe today for a first place finish. But for now, they will survive as a solo. Minnesota closing the gap on Colorado. We'll see how it goes. Easy on the low ground. Speed Demon already up above. Another scan. Speed Demon's trying to come through from the other side. Nice beams. Ooh, Rampart Wall doesn't mean anything if you're able to break it from the window. Small guy in 47, barely able to get these heals off, but they are stunted in their survivability. Minnesota have arrived. There's full thirst number one. The Maggie drill already exchanged. Smalls is low. Speed Demon will go down. One remaining member here around the back. A crack and a dive behind the knockdown shield. But the Havoc will get the job done. Colorado out in 7th overall. Fisher are still in it. The UCF Knights Academy, maybe they're going to try to play this one in to the edge of Minnesota. Slothulus was revived, it looked like, so another knock there. Marist University, St. Mary's, who are going to have to fly in from the balloon. Champlain and Minnesota. Yes, Fisher College, another banner reset on that eastern side of zone. The Kingfishers aren't out of it yet, folks. This is their opportunity to play in again. I will say, though, trying to get their way into zone is a struggle. Minnesota, they're going to turn their attention back around here. Now, they have to be careful. That choke out from the east, if they get too aggressive here, they could have UCF or Fisher even come on in. Fisher, all members are back into play, but they are on the very edge of zone here. We'll have to see if Fisher can successfully just get a wrap. That northern rotate might be a little bit better. They can play into that side building, but it is tough. 6 squads down. Things have truly quieted out here. Fisher are split. This is a massive split for them. Golden is up towards the north, and with a beam of 1, he might have just set Fisher up for a walk-in here. Big problem, though. St. Mary's University, they do still have a 2v1 advantage. Navchill, very nice flatline spray there, but I can only imagine Fisher has arrived. Navchill, an arc snare knock, but the rest of Fisher, like I said, they hear it, they are willing. There comes the recovery now. Slothula, surprisingly, is sticking that one out. Okay, I was about to say, you have a lifeline, just let him handle it. Marist University, they're going to put in a couple of shots from afar here, and this probably guarantees that, yes, St. Mary's will be wiped out by Fisher on their rotate in. Fisher here now against Marist. This is not a hard fight for them. Coop, Morph, and Owensky, they are, I mean, I'll just be honest with you. They are outclassed in this trade. Golden will find the knock, and it is a riot drill that does them in. There is going to be the entry and probably the finalization here. Now, remember, Champlain, UCF Knights Academy, Minnesota, they've got their own exchange going on here, but Fisher will have first pickings for the best spot in zone. 1 remaining member here for Marist, and honestly, good. Don't let them stay. Last time around, we saw a team get wiped out because they survived and had a crash in the final fight. Minnesota, nice easy beams. Post drinker. His spout, his run drive. Couple resets up above on the 2nd floor, but it's another knock on to Kragerless. 1 dive, and that should be more. A wipe against Champlain, and we are down to the final couple of squads remaining here. Nades on the interior, and that might be UCF Academy. Yep, coming through on the outside. You have Minnesota and Knights Academy stacked up. Fisher, though, they don't wait in zone. They don't try to let this one come their way. They are ready and waiting here. A drop onto Golden, though, from Schmalls, and Minnesota Mavericks. They could pick up a dub here on the final game. That is a critical knock, a dive to the low ground, and that will be Golden full thirsted. Slothulus is not looking much better. There's the port play to the very edge of zone. Sloth is knocked, and Fisher are down to 1. Dom 2 cracked, completely separated on high ground here. And honestly, their ego and their greed might be becoming of them. Still, UCF Knights Academy, Minnesota State Mavericks, a 3v3 exchange, at least available here. Dom is still alive, and honestly, he could be the difference maker of who wins this final fight. Still, big burns for Minnesota, and we are guaranteed to see a new winner here today. Knights Academy, Minnesota, 3v3. Minnesota stuck across the bridge, and the Academy roster holding them out in the zone position here. Let's see how this one will go. Full long-range snipes, 57 for Minnesota. They need something bigger if it means getting into zone. Meanwhile, UCF Knights, they have got Minnesota hook, long, and sinker here. I mean, seriously. Nice drill. Hayden Z is already moving out there towards that zone position. Come on, Academy. Just rotate. You've got better rotates. Minnesota, a couple of long nades. You do not want to let them cross the bridge for free here. Hayden Z is on that coverage. Meadsy and Schmaltz have stepped up to the box. Another port play available, and it is up to Schmaltz to get them to safety. Can he do it? A tactical in the nick of time there. Hayden Z, though, could overlook this. They have slight high ground advantage. The shots and rotate have been heard. Another drill extended out there from Speed Demon. And honestly, Minnesota are making all the plays in the world to make this one count. Look at Meadsy, though, still on the other side there. And Minnesota have created space where there was none. UCF Knights Academy, the longer this goes, the longer it looks like they are losing control of the equation. Minnesota is the better team, and they have slowly picked this one back together. Knights losing space. Croissant, a 45 reload here. Shot in the back. Croissant forced out on the tactical. Minnesota Mavericks, more space to assume. Flashdown, a double knock. That will be the end. Minnesota State Mavericks push their way to victory. To say I'm surprised would be a lie. Let's take a look at the scoreboard here. Sadly, no dub for the UCF Knights Academy, but the final one of the day should be interesting here. By the way, I want to point out, we are going to pop on over to the other lobby and catch their game 6, so don't go anywhere. We are still looking at College Apex, Obi-Gun Kenobi. I agree. Just absolutely demolished. Fisher College, they will finish the day in the dub. Congratulations, 121 to their name. Southern Mississippi, they just went out a little too early there with their first win of the day. Minnesota State Mavericks, who, by the way, no one betted on, so no points for everybody, just stealing them away. They will walk away with third overall. That is a huge dub for them, by the way. That is a 33-point dub. It's a tie for Purdue and University of Houston, but Purdue are the tiebreakers. St. Mary's holds on to 6th with their dub, and St. Clair, the 5-point game ain't enough to cut the mustard. CSU, UCF Knights Academy with a second place, at least get to jump up to top 9. LATC Diamond, Champlain College, UWRF, University of New Haven, Seneca Sting, South Nazarene University, UPRN, North Park University, and Marist University to round out the rest of the lobby. A quick refresh here on the other one because we're going to get one prediction in here before we go take a look. Who wins Game 6? Let me get a little refresh on these teams. Here we go, folks. I'm going to type these in. We got Cumberland, 1 win on the day. KSU, 1 win on the day. UCF Knights, who just won this last game. CSUFDH, no wins yet. We got OU, only the first game of the day. CSUF, who are a duo. TAMU, who only has a second place finish. Nebraska, Omaha. Of course, LCU, or anyone else. Here you guys go. Little treat. Little pop on over to day 5. C versus D to round off this period. 5 minutes on the board. Get your bets in. Kennesaw will be eternally second. Well, hey, they are 4 points behind Cumberland. 68 there for UCF Knight. They are handily in third. But hey, for DH, University of Oklahoma, or Fullerton, Texas A&M, Nebraska, Louisiana, Northern Arizona, even Fisher College White, this is a chance to make a recovery. 5 minutes on the board. Get your predictions in. We've already got predictions on to KSU. Guys, crazy thought. MSU win Game 6. Is that Muskingham? I don't know. All right. Well, last prediction of the day from the future here. The game hasn't even ended yet. I can see it on my second monitor. That being said, like I said, a little treat. Little final treat of the day. Apex Legends marriage tier list? Okay, L Jukebox just sent me this from Discord, and I need your guys' help to help me make sense of it, because I'm about to pop in the game. But I just want to point out, he said Apex Legends marriage tier list. Thank you, Nomad. What is this? Apex Legends marriage tier list? I don't get it. Why would you want to marry Alter? Wait, Fisher's part of everyone else on the bet? It's Fisher White. Fisher White. Alter would just kill you. I know, yeah. Why would you want to be with that psycho bitch? I mean, that shit grips, though. All right. Let's pop into game. The last one of the day here for College Apex. After this, we will be moving on over to Contenders League. We are so graciously in time. Watson S tier is very understandable. Yeah, she's so cute. Hold on, everyone's just looting. I'm going back to this. Loba seems like she's got a little fiery passion there, but she seems like she would be nice. You kind of gotta get to Loba's level, you know? She's not gonna settle for nothing, right? She is the type who can, as long as you sugar her up, Loba's probably fine with you. She's the one who gets mad, but then you're kind of like, don't worry, baby. We got reservations at whatever. And it ends up, just fine. Sparrow, he's a charmer. He's a cute charmer, and he has a cat. So, Horizon seems, I don't know if I would put Horizon S tier, personally. I think Horizon would be a little too focused on her work. I think I would feel a little bit unloved in the relationship, personally, She seems sweet, but between a little bit of her, a little bit of the past, her history there, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I love Elle Newlands. Elle Newlands is great. She's a lovely, lovely woman who I've gotten to meet several times, but that ain't Horizon, The rest of this, I don't know if I have the time to go through. Vantage all the way down in D tier is crazy. Also, why is Bloodhound all the way down here on the low ground? Bloodhound will literally cut a bitch if they love you, okay? Bloodhound is possibly S tier. It's like the cat who brings you a dead bird. Bloodhound, like, you would find out, like, someone accidentally hits your car, and then they drive off. It's a hit and run. Bloodhound would show up, and that person would be dead. And you would be thinking, okay, that's a little crazy, but, probably nice. All the current Apex couples should not be on the list, in my opinion. That is fair. That is fair. No Bloodhound Fuse. I do like Fuse, but I'm biased. That's my favorite character. All right, let's pop in game. Just as the action starts here, LATC Ruby as a duo against OU. One remaining member here as OU will slide on in, and let me hear.
We got this.
Boomer! Anybody? Anybody?
That way. Kinda.
Not a single Oklahoma fan is back.
Enemy right here.
First wipe of the day against LATC. Ooh, dope pokies. Okay.
Upgraded.
SNHU, yellow. They are also struggling as Cumberland will get the response they need. We'll tune in with the Aggies. There you go, little peek of the Aggie ring there. Texas A&M, they have been not really looking great today. Usually they are a top 3 team in these lobbies, and hopefully they turn it around here. Long range drop onto Spider Space from KnowYou, and honestly, it can't be the go button. They got a team behind them, truthfully, with a knock, and this is CSUF. Massive drops from Swifty, and the substitute of a lifetime has come in here for Tamu. Big beams, and this is a difference maker and a half. Swifty single-handedly will keep this team alive. CSUF, it is just Crimson Monk on the outside, and he is even being full-thirsted maybe by KnowYou here. Remember, Swifty is still part of Texas A&M. He does not graduate until the end of this semester here, so he is a legitimate player on Texas A&M Maroon. He is not the future of this roster, but he sure as shit has been the past. Crimson Monk will survive into Turbine there. And for CSUF Fullerton, they picked with the wrong roster. Meanwhile, Cumberland University currently in the lead. They're in a race against Kennesaw, who, by the way, was just knocked by SNHU. Another knock here from Future Streams. And for Cumberland University, one remaining member on the interior. It is none other than Ronte from Fisher College White. This is the Fisher JV roster. It is up to Slasher, and in the end, with just a tick of health left remaining, Slasher will find that KP. No one's nearby to third party this one, and in the end, that'll be a Slasher dub. Kennesaw State University, kanji character, Wrecked Emporium here. SNHU Blue. Let's see how this goes. Couple of big beams here as a duo. Problem, you've lost out on Kindly Monkey, and that is arguably your best player. That being said, though, it doesn't get much better for SNHU. It is just Psycho left alive. They're going to have to find their way back to safety here. Sharpie and Clarky, maybe a port play. Most of these teams, though, we got to start talking about rotations. Round is closing here. Trident is available for Tamu. Hold on, I need to see this. Okay, I hope they got across there. If I see a Tamu has fallen, I'm going to be really upset. Louisiana Christian University versus CSU Dominguez Hills. Not the best day for Sleep King, Goose, or Static here. Couple of ticking shots up above. Dominguez Hills, they got all the time in the world to get this fight going. Goose, Sleep King, and Static, they are ticking from that gas on the interior there. And U Ottawa has a slight damage advantage, but they are still numbers down. The peak to height does not go their way. Sleep King, ooh, unable to get the knock though. Loon and Faustus Festus though are extremely low. That is a full thirst, so this is now an official 2v2. U Ottawa though, I heard that Maggie Ball, and this tells me that this might be a third party coming in here. So for U Ottawa, yes, Northern Arizona has arrived, and this is a third party situation here. Still, for U Ottawa, they don't really have much better choices ahead of them. They could play this one back, but they have a little bit of a damage response. LCU is also here, Louisiana Christian University, so that is 4 teams set up inside the building. Ottawa with a little nade exchange, and remember, if this doesn't go perfectly for Ottawa, it is a guaranteed death. A peek onto the inside there. Static with a knock onto Louisiana Christian University, and it is trade for trade. Bam Slam just maybe trying to get them to peak the reset as the battery is stuck here. This might be a U Ottawa third party, or at least Northern Arizona. U Ottawa taking their time. They're back out over towards the edge. CSU Dominguez is playing for safety. That will be CSU Dominguez. Just one remaining member. Northern Arizona is also here, and they will find that last Wraith trying to heal. No more Dominguez, and wow, no more Kennesaw. Wiped out here in the end. They had the numbers advantage and somehow lost it all. For Cumberland University, they will make short work of Oklahoma. Everyone is practically dead already here. Cumberland University, 3 members up, and this should be done. El spoil. Oh wait, you guys just died. No. He didn't spoil anything. Yeah, it's tough, Dom. Kindly Monkey is a legend. An allegedly legend. Sloshy Medusa. Spitfire for the push play here. Actually, it's going to be the ring that knocks Psycho. Big dick momentum. That's all that truly matters. Clarky and Sharpie stuck on the edge. UCF Knights could invest in this. It's KP to work with. Evac, drop down. Zephyr, you should buy I've already made a deal with Kindly Monkey. If he goes 30 days in a row, 30 days of tuning into stream, 30 days, I will buy him Chipotle. Cumberland University, I mean, they are the definitive de facto winner here of the day then. Already another knock and finish on to University of Nebraska, Omaha. And most of our squads, see how it goes. Little big beam there on Muskingum University. That'll be it. Zephyr Day 30 will be the first day of the subathon. What does that mean? Doesn't even make sense.
I suggest we analyze those grounds.
Do you know what I live next to, Kindly Monkey? Do you know what is the closest establishment to my house? I live next to a Chipotle. I'm not even kidding. I can walk to it right now. I can get out of my chair, go grab it. I don't go there very often because I've eaten, like 2 years ago, I ate Chipotle every day for like 6 months straight. I had 2 burritos every day. It was really bad. Anyways, Texas A&M, they love this trident because it closes distance for the Aggies. UCF Knights here, though. Quick for recovery out towards the balloon. Texas A&M, they're just going to defend the terminal here. They need to make sure they don't get some of these late rotates coming in from the estates, etc. SNHU Blue is one of those rosters, and for Texas A&M, that is not the easiest fight to take a, or that is not the easiest team to take a fight against. Psycho, Clarky, Sharpie. Honestly, that is a really nice roster of names to read out. Psycho, Clarky, Sharpie. I fucking like that. CSUF, they ain't much better here. The rotates in from Northern Arizona is just one remaining member. Cumberland coming on in, though, for their own play. Sykin is low, but it is still a knock on the truthfully there. No lifeline recovery. Forced to stick the syringe, and I think, oh, Sykin just barely gets it off. A full set slide down. Allow is picked up here, and for CSUF, they are down to one remaining member. Oklahoma, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Oklahoma managed to survive those handful of knocks against Cumberland. Also, shout out to Crimson Monk. That is like the fastest reset recovery in zone I've ever seen. Now, UCF Knights could take advantage of this. Texas A&M, get away from me. Texas A&M's gonna die. Texas A&M's gonna die, bro. Anyways, University of Oklahoma, like I said, reset recovery here on the southern side of zone. A couple of snipes just outside the phase driver against Kansas State University. Cosmic Frosty, and it is going to be Tex with knock number 1. A trade from Papisi, and it doesn't get much more easy. Last remaining member for Oklahoma, and that will be it. Oh, Texas A&M with a double knock. Yay! Yay! Texas A&M! Go Aggies! Woo! I was worried about Texas A&M dying to Cumberland. I shouldn't have been. That being said, they did leave one member alive in Fisher, or in future streams here, which that's about the worst thing you could have done. We will see if Cumberland comes back with a vengeance. UCF Knights, another roster slowly rotating in. LCU, SNHU Blue in the center zone. Down south, Kansas. And yes, a CSUF who is likely about to get a double revive off. And yeah, maybe even Cumberland as well. SNHU, we talked about this against LCU. Louisiana, I mean, low and slow. Here comes the hit of a lifetime. There's the Nox gas grenade, at least on the interior. And that could be a revive play, but it is another knock from a small peek from Psycho there. Caustic gas for a knock on a dream. And Louisiana Christian University, they aren't even a participant in their own death. Now, Cumberland has reset here. The revives have just come through behind the pillar. They have a decent spot in this zone. And like I said, Texas A&M, they may regret what they have failed to finish here. Kansas State looking for their own start there. The EMP unable to come through. It is blasted out. So, Cumberland University safe for now. They have the edge of terminal to work with, but that doesn't mean they're going to play from it. Sending this on to Kansas is really all they need. And we got Trident v. Trident. Little pop on the whip there. CSU Fullerton, they were also able to get all 3 members back alive as Cumberland will take this rotate all the way towards the edge of zone. Texas A&M, they currently post one of the better positions here. Granted, I do like terminal and the backside a little bit better. It's kind of a slight height disparity that could work out in your favor. Ark is just going dicko mode, sicko mode here. Kansas State are around the back, and Texas A&M, they want to wipe the competition while they can. It is a quick rotate from J-Specs, Kex, and Cosmic Frosty to get themselves set back up. Texas A&M, though, are here as well. Slosh and Medusa thirsted out on the side of UCF. Kansas State, they'll turn their attention towards the right area here. And who knows, might be back on that zip line for safety in just a second. Kansas State University. Ooh, this is a tough fight ahead here. I don't know what Cumberland's doing, by the way. They were running and gunning for a while there, but have been optionally quiet. So who knows? Zone is closing here. Let's see if Texas A&M can hold off Kansas. Remember, Kansas does have a zip line rotate, so it is not a terrible spot for them right now. Stop throwing nades. Stop throwing nades. The first one didn't land. If the first one didn't land, you do not throw a second. The other lobby is so bad, it's unbelievable. CSU Fullerton, there's the rotate from the other side. A knock on the J-Specs, the zip line down below, and the third-party play will send Kansas back to the gray screen here. Congratulations to Fullerton. I mean, it's a beautiful wrap around the back. Texas A&M, they guarantee the height to play. And Cumberland, well, they're going to full thirst the southern side. It is trade for trade, though. UCF, though, they don't have a good beam of where Sykin is. Still, shot from the back. Sykin will go down, and it is left up to Ur here from the far side to get the job done for the UCF Knights. Swifty's got a knock onto Clarkey against SNHU. Arc on a Crimson Monk there for CUS. And this is play for play here on the other side of the map. Couple of sticks, and Sykin will be brought back into it for future streams. Pure, why'd you peek so late? UCF Knights will go down, and it will be SNHU peeking some of these other exchanges. SNHU Blue, they have to move quickly here while that lifeline is down. You got to capitalize while it counts. Couple of arc starts. Drop the Nox gas. Nox gas grenade. Oh, a nice gravity lift to get them out of the blast range. Grass trap for Sharpie. A knock on trades for trade. Slasher will go down. But with future streams still alive, you might as well be struggling no matter what. Again, a future stream's white, and Cumberland is here for the reset. CSUF, though, there is no way they can possibly mess this up. A re-knock found, a peek up above, behind the knockdown shield. Future is low, another shield swap his way. Truthfully, a bad trade out. One last pick, and Cumberland is wiped out here. Texas A&M now, they have the heart of zone. A rolling thunder expended for CSUF, and this is a chance for Texas A&M to get their first dub of the day. CSUF, they've already gotten one. Allow is not there. The EMP play will get damage on Tamu. The reset might come through, but Allow is still out here. Truthfully low. No beams onto Arc. One remaining member, and the Aggies take game 6. Dig 'em. Let's go Aggies. Texas A&M here for the spoils. Arc, know you, and yes, Swifty there coming on in for their dub. Let's take a look at the scoreboard here. One last time. We got a little bit of time before we get into Contenders League. I am going to drop the stream in a little bit so I can reset the titles for YouTube and make sure that it is a separate VOD. But for now, yeah. Remember, folks, I think College Apex just needs more time in the chamber. I think it just needs more teams. What the hell is that emote? Pew, pew, pew. Jesus. I need God to coach me. I played the worst Apex I ever had this weekend. Well, let's see where it puts you on the leaderboard, because right now, the refresh lets us know that your final finish was still not as big as Cumberland. That's okay, though. 19 points and 7 KP. CSU Fullerton just behind you in second. SNHU, fourth place with 8. There's Kansas, UCF, LCU, respectively. The overall standings does allow Texas A&M to jump back up just ahead of CSU Fullerton. Had they won that game, they would be the ones talking about fourth place right now. But Cumberland, Kennesaw State, and UCF Knights, those are your top 3 for College Apex there. CSU Dominguez Hills, they've got themselves a 6th place finish. There's OU, 7th overall. They drop after the switch up there. LCU will make a little bit of a jump. UCS Nebraska, -1. Northern Arizona, SNHU Blue at 3. Fisher, -1. SNHU Yellow. Kansas State, 14th. Muskingum, LATC Ruby, Purdue University Club, and U Ottawa here. Now, I'm pretty sure the scores have not been updated yet. They are just barely, these are just the teams I don't think who showed up. Either way, we will see those update a little bit later on. The overall standings, though, should still put Fisher College ahead of the rest, and Cumberland should break that tie against the Minnesota State Mavericks. So, we will see how this one goes. OU dropped. Yeah, looks like those boys did drop. What is a Pokey? Pokey College. No, that's Pokimane. The Pokies. Who are the Pokies? What? I don't know. I can't find it. Fisher first, Cumberland second, Mavericks third, KSU fourth, USM fifth. There you go. There's your answer. All right. Well, we got a little bit of time here. We are third. I think so. Anyways, I don't want to end. I do have to end the stream just literally because, duh, I have to, right? Or else. Did I get the wrong division? Did I get moved to B versus C? Oh, shit. I'm watching B versus C today. When did that happen? Maybe I'm going crazy. Did I type B versus C on my announcement? No, I said A versus D. Okay. Small fix. I will be watching B versus C, not A versus D. Okay. There you go. Now you guys know. You reel for that, King. Future, I know I was going to die. I just really wanted to do that. I can't even tell who it is, but I know that has to be Future on Fuse jumping up there. It was. If I was playing good today, we would have gotten second. That is true, Meadsy. But you can't win them all here. All right. Let me update a couple of things. Take this screenshot off. We got contenders coming on up soon. Oh, I got to open all my bookmarks back up. Stream prep, open all tabs. There we go. Commands. Let's switch all the links. Boop. Boop. Another link there. By the way, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to College Apex this morning. We are moving on over to Octane's Contenders League. But if you really enjoyed the action, we're live every day with Collegiate. We'll see. You hate Group D, I can tell. It's actually OI who decides it. OI decides which group I watch because he's helping me by balancing them all out. I will see every single roster and every single iteration at least once. It's pokies, like you touch someone or something with one finger, but what college is it? Oh, pokes! Pokes, not pokies. My bad. I thought when you read that, it said, I hate Group T. No. Pokes. Oh, well, pokey. Poke bowls. Pokes University. Oh, Oklahoma State. Pokes is the common nickname for OSU. Ah, I understand now. I understand. Yeah, it looks like today we will sadly not be watching. No, we are. There they are. There you go, bud. We will be checking out the Pokes later in just a little bit here. It is still very, very early. It is 1:43 p.m. We got some other good teams. UT Tyler's in this lobby. We got squads like TNT Tech and FIU Panthers who had an excellent week last week. U Buffalo can be good sometimes. I think ACU has a full roster. Sac State is here. So you guys know what that means. Campbellsville University, they're doing okay. Full Sail Armada, they've had a couple of good ones. Illinois State's consistent. Honestly, this is a really nice lobby. Yeah, Fair State Crimson's pretty good. Wow, we have a highlight of a lobby for contenders today. You can be UB Esports, you can be good sometimes. Typically not, though. Hey, you pay some damn respects to some of these teams out here, boy. Woo! There we go. Oh my God. I'll tell you what, talk about an energizer. Why did you wait to redeem hydrate till after? Go pokes followed by finger guns out to the side. Well, you know what? I don't know how that is. It's go pokes. Like that. The only one I can really do is gig 'em. Gig 'em Aggies. All right. I think I'm going to restart the stream real quick. Request interview. Okay, well, hold on. 16's who? Get a Suz interview? Okay. I don't even know what Dr. Suz's username is. I'm not even kidding you guys. How am I going to find this guy? How am I going to get a Dr. Suz interview? Can't seem to find what you're looking for. All right, let's try this. No one with that name should be S followed by a bunch of underscores. Can I cancel an interview by requesting? No.
Hello.
Dr. Suz, welcome to the interview. We've got some hard-hitting questions for you today. First one, why would you make me hydrate again?
I just came back on the stream. I didn't know you were drinking.
That's terrible. Terrible answer. Terrible answer here. Furthermore, what's your thoughts on wood?
It's sticky and brown.
It's not, but I appreciate your thoughts at least. Furthermore, can we get some analysis on the concepts of Egypt's diplomacy right now?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
I don't know anything about their
No.
political system.
Nope. Nope. You heard it here first, folks. He thinks it's pretty good. Collegiate will be starting here shortly with Contenders League. Any thoughts about that today?
Who's even playing today?
Some teams.
Oh, Full Sail Armada? Yo, is PB and John playing?
No, PB and John's no longer on that roster.
Oh, that's so... He was the GOAT.
He was pretty good. He was pretty good. Do you have any other maybe fan favorites that might be here tonight?
I heard good things about the SNHU team. That's about it.
Okay. I'll take chat. Any questions from chat? Put them in chat. I'm going to get one started here, though. What's your favorite soda?
Dr. Pepper.
Oh, solid. Solid choice. Solid answer. Guys, I'm really screwing the pooch here. I guess one last thing. Fun fact about yourself, Dr. Suz.
I like purple.
Okay. Favorite chemical compound from Effie. User submitted question.
Helium. Wait, no, compound.
Compound.
H2O.
You could have picked HE2
right.
or something. I don't know.
Hydrogen peroxide as well. It's pretty good.
Okay. What do you think about Parksa?
I have a GIF I can send you
Perfect.
of yesterday.
Yeah.
I created yesterday. It was pretty good.
Yeah, please send this to me. This is critical. Parksa the GOAT. All right, everybody. Here you guys go. I'm not even sure I can open this on stream. I will try. Can you guys see this? Huh.
Oh, does it not work on Discord?
I don't have Discord on the screen. So you guys are just going to have to imagine the gift. It is just
It's a
It's unfortunate. I know.
Parksa. Free Parksa. That's all I gotta say about him.
Free Parksa.
Very, very unfortunate about his teams in the situation.
All right. Any last shout outs from you here before we go? All right, that was a great interview with the GOAT, Dr. Suz. He popped the gift in chat. If you want to check it out there, it is the perfect opportunity to I don't know, laugh at Parksa dying to piercing spikes and missing a couple of Mozambique shots. That being said, Zephyr will be back in about, I'd say about 10 minutes here. I'm going to go feed Lewis. I need to feed Lewis. If I don't feed Lewis, he's literally right here. He is here, since you guys love seeing him so much. I have to feed Lewis, because if I don't feed Lewis, he will scream and he will cry and he will go, please, 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 Papa, feed me. And he will do it all throughout the thing. Free Lewis. Lewis doesn't want to be freed, bro. This little guy just sleeps on the floor or sleeps on the bed or sleeps on my lap mostly all day long. He is the cuddliest bug on earth. That being said, I'm going to pop the stream back up to the starting soon. I'm going to change the titles out, so I will be right back. Please stick around. Please stick around. Please.